All Request Spectacular number 5, part 2, home fucking stretch.
Yeah, there's only 3 of these left to do.
We just gotta finish this one, and one more week. I got 10 movies to watch for next week, and then 7 movies to watch for the fucking Oscars the week after, and then that's it. No more movies.
1, 2, 3.
You said like 5 or something. Maybe less now.
4, 5.
Yeah.
But that's only if we can get Purgatorious. And also, I didn't take any notes for home because it was bad. I've seen Scooby-Doo, but I don't remember it. I've seen Cliffhanger, but I don't remember it. I've seen... That's it.
I watched Cliffhanger for the first time last night.
Did you enjoy John Lithgow?
I loved British John Lithgow.
Good guy.
As opposed to, like, sort of British John Lithgow like the rest of his performances. But this one was really British.
Really British.
So good for him. But those Law and Order episodes are mounting up on the PVR. Right. I can hear them every night.
Bound to happen.
Every night I hear them calling my name.
You hear them screaming for you.
I can hear the women getting raped in them.
Watch us, Daddy.
I'm like, no, not until my responsibilities are done. Not until I'm done watching a goddamn movie with every free waking minute. Yep. But
thanks to you people.
What do you mean, you people?
You know what I mean.
I do know what you mean. But it's close. There's a light.
There's a light at the end of the tunnel.
I can see it. It's a pinpoint right now, but it's growing ever bigger. It's dilating. It's winking at me. Yeah. I can feel it. I think. Don't quote me on this because I don't want this to be one of those things that ages badly. Okay. I think I'm not going to kill myself right now.
Okay. That's good. It's good to hear.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure. I'm like, I can have one more week of this fucking shit. And then that goddamn... Why did I make a commitment to myself and to my God that I have to watch every Best Picture nominee?
Well, it's kind of part of your job, isn't it?
I guess.
You can't go in blind.
I don't want to go in blind.
You have to know what happens in Belfast.
I do have to know what happens in Belfast. Adam, who will be co-commentating the Oscars with me live.
I feel like you're co-commentating.
No, he's helping.
The host is not co-commentating.
The Twitch stream is Adam Plays, ADUMPLAZE, which is my Twitch channel, and that's what will be live commentating the Oscars on.
Okay, fair.
But he looks at everything. He does not watch them all the way through if they're bad.
Okay, yeah.
Because he told me, and I appreciated it. He watched the first 15 to 20 minutes of King Richard and said, I believe out loud, I feel bad for Scott. Because he's going to watch this whole thing.
Yes, he is.
And I am. I'm going to be the first person on Earth to watch King Richard start to finish.
Yep.
That is including every single person who put it forward for nomination.
And that includes every single member of the Williams family.
That's the entire Williams family. That's the entire Smith and Pinkett family.
Cool. That's a cool family.
Cool family.
I whip my hair back and forth.
She does whip her hair back and forth. And Jaden, no notes. Keep doing what you're doing.
Slay queen.
Will, Jada, keep being secret Scientologists and cheating on each other.
Yep.
I like, honestly, both of those things for you.
Me too.
So,
Will, keep making bad movies because you're a bad actor and you've never made a good movie.
Never made a good movie. Keep making Oscar bait every year.
Yeah.
That once every 6 or 7 years actually hits.
Yeah, because your wife's a cunt.
Because your wife's a cunt. Keep. If I had my druthers, if we could get a little more Collateral Beauty and a little less King Richard, I'm in. Just absolute failures of Oscar bait.
Yeah.
Those are my favorites.
Like every Steve Carell movie.
Every Steve Carell movie.
For Foxcatcher, but
yeah. Also disappointing. That was just no foxes.
But
the sluts of the Animal Kingdom.
If there were foxes, they were going to be getting killed. So
yeah, which is fine because at the end of the day, they're just dumb dogs.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
Yeah,
I guess that's fair.
I'll kill a fox. I was about to just loudly proclaim, I'll kill Vivica A. Fox, but I'm not going to do that, internet. So don't take that out of context.
Don't kill her career. She's at an all-time high.
She's at an all-time high. She's riding off that Cool Cat fame. Her and Eric Estrada.
Scott,
Nowhere to go but up. What's up?
would you like to talk about 2004's The Calamari
I'd
Wrestler?
love to talk about 2004's The Calamari Wrestler, recommended by Ramiro. Noted furry wrestling artist.
Nice.
Yeah.
IMGP. Nice try.
Super Japan Pro Wrestling.
Like you thought you were going to get that past me.
Super Japan Pro Wrestling. Nice try.
Nice try.
A lot of nice tries.
Think you're going to get that past me? I don't think so.
No, I think
Oh, man. I'm 40.
I think we saw through it. I think we saw through the IMGP title for Super Japan Pro Wrestling.
Yeah.
Eerily similar.
Eerily similar.
To things in real life, but the people and events in this movie do not necessarily reflect the any actual persons or events, living or dead.
Yeah.
Which is a disclaimer they did not have.
No, they did not.
We got our boy Akira Nogami, or all caps Akira, depending on what stage of his career we're at.
Yeah.
This stage would be all caps Akira.
All caps Akira.
He's really good.
Yeah.
He's an underrated wrestler. He never got. I mean, he got some play with like Liger for the junior title in the early 90s. Then I don't really know what he did for the mid 90s. Then sort of had the comeback as all caps Akira late 90s into the 2000s. Had a really good match with Kanemoto in 2003, I know. So check it out. If I was to hazard a date, let's go with March 23rd, 2003. And if I'm right on that, I am going to give myself the largest pat on the back and buy myself a birthday cake.
Autism.
A goddamn birthday cake.
Autism.
You talk for a sec while I find this, and you'll know when I found it by how loud I am.
Autism.
Stop singing the autism song.
I'm doing it as Moon River, I think. Although I don't know that I've actually heard Moon River. God damn. Akira has wrestled a lot more recently than me.
I bet he has.
Actually, not as far as this recording goes.
Okay.
As far as the recording goes, I've had one.
You've had one more recent match than him?
He did a bunch of Wrestle 1.
Mm-hmm.
And then he did some...
Oh, yeah, he did do Wrestle 1.
He did some Best of the Super Juniors. And he did a bunch of New Japan in 2010.
Okay.
2009.
Have you wrestled since 2009?
Nope.
Okay.
I've never wrestled before. I'm untrained. I'm a yard tard.
Those are all true. In case you're wondering, Koji Kanemoto retained the IWGP, not the IMGP.
Not to be confused.
Junior heavyweight title over all caps Akira in 17 minutes and 52 seconds at the Memorial Park Gymnasium in Amagasaki, Hyogo, Japan, at New Japan Pro Wrestling Hyper Battle 2003 Day 14 on March 23rd, 2003. You're welcome. I've just earned a birthday cake.
God.
All to myself. Which I'll eat in the car on the drive home from here.
Good. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you choke on it. So, as you were saying, all caps Akira.
He's good. He's a good wrestler.
Yeah, he's good.
And not a bad actor. He did all right.
Yeah, it was all right.
Yeah.
So the words Taguchi World Champion. Not something I ever want to hear again.
That is a joke for the New Japan fans in the crowd.
Although this is a much better Taguchi.
This is a much better Taguchi.
Less ass work and less focus on 69.
Yeah. It is my life's goal to become the 69th Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions.
Yes.
And you know what? He got it, and good for him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then he wants to be the 69th Junior Champion.
Are they not at 69 for Junior?
I don't fucking care.
Or was he the 69th?
I hate Taguchi. Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
He was.
And then they just got 69 Junior Tag.
Yeah.
Him and Watto?
Watto.
Good stuff.
Master Watto.
A Japanese guy with a Chinese kung fu gimmick in 2022.
Well, you know, can't win them all. Also, it's Japan where they don't believe in medicine or vaccines and they believe in ghosts.
Yes. All true things.
So yeah, this starts off with like the big match.
Yeah.
The big IMGP heavyweight title match, where Taguchi finally overcomes his demons and wins the world title.
Yeah, with his... I don't like whatever they called his move. It's not what they called it, like it was like a double negative. It was like they called it like reverse inverted full Nelson.
Yeah, it was
or
a
something.
reverse inverted full Nelson.
But it was like a prison lock with the legs and then just like double
a
underhook.
butterfly.
Yeah, butterfly submission.
Yeah, double underhook. Wins title. But then shocker
Is ambushed by a goddamned squid.
goddamned to squid. So a man in a squid suit comes out.
It's not a bad suit.
It's okay. Like, it's not bad. I can't imagine that it was very comfortable to be in.
I bet it was not.
It seemed
I bet it was
very hot.
neither comfortable nor easy to wrestle in.
Probably not.
But I like because it's like a big sort of plasticky, foamy looking squid
it's like
suit.
it's probably like some kind of foam rubber.
Yeah,
type sitch.
with obviously a bunch of tentacles, and then
Just human legs.
and then human legs, but the legs are in tights that match the tentacles, and then wrestling boots.
Yeah, of course.
It's great.
Well, he's a wrestling
squid.
He's a wrestling calamari. Of course, he's gonna have
Yes, he is.
wrestling boots on.
And they have an impromptu fight. Squid kicks his ass because, to quote the commentator, joint locks don't work on an invertebrate.
That's true.
That's 100% true. And Squid kicks his ass and embarrasses him right after he wins the title.
Yep. Then after the next note I made was so then the squid wants to train to be the champion.
Yeah.
And he
But
also
yeah.
but it's also not the only thing he wants. He wants to fuck.
Yes.
He wants to fuck so
He wants two
bad.
things. He wants to wrestle for the title and to fuck. One of two things I can appreciate.
Yes, I also can appreciate one of two things. So he starts like having weird fever dreams about a woman.
Yeah.
There's a lot of focus on her legs.
Yes. Well, squids are leg guys.
They're leg men.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see.
I mean, they got 10.
That's true.
Yeah.
But then don't you think you'd want to focus on something you don't have?
Not if you have a large ego.
Yeah. And he does have a very large
He
ego.
does.
He did just beat up the world champion.
He just kicked the world champion's ass.
He absolutely did. Man, my notes for this are like all over the place. I don't the next so there's like a training montage.
They start dropping references because they're like, who's this fucking squid?
Yeah.
And they start dropping references of Taguchi's sort of mentor and like earlier world champion who kind of fell out of the public eye 3 years ago when he got a terminal disease, I believe.
Yeah.
And we see that is Osamundo Shimura, another incredibly underrated wrestler.
Yep.
Who's awesome. Like, honestly, one of the most... what's the adjective I would use for Nishimura? One of the most fluid wrestlers. One of the most gender fluid wrestlers
One of them
ever.
like he's got like a drippy penis.
Yeah.
He's got the drip.
Yeah, he's Osamu Drip Drip.
Yeah.
But yeah, like smoothness, smoothness and fluidness.
He's a smooth boy.
He is both those things. Yeah, he's great though. Like he's like early 2000, like right when this movie was made. Actually, like his early 2000s New Japan stuff is great. So yeah, then they start. It's not really a secret for that long. They start kind of dropping references that like, wait, is this Squid Nishimura?
Yeah.
Because that's a thing. That's a legitimate possibility in this reality.
Japan.
It is
no
Japan.
rules in Japan.
There's magic. There's ghosts.
Don't tell old ladies that.
No, they're terrified.
Terrified them.
Yeah. So once that was on the table, I'm like, ooh, give me some TF. They really don't.
No, unfortunately, there's not really.
There's
TF's off the table.
There's implied TF, but you don't see anything. You see a guy, you see a squid. There's no in between, which is what I'm here for.
Yeah.
Sadly, I was shocked that they dropped a Ricky Dozan stabbing reference. I was great. I'm like, oh, they just said how he actually died.
Yep.
For those who don't know, Ricky Dozan is like the father of Japanese wrestling. And if you've seen this movie, what they say is largely true. Like, he came to prominence in the 50s, right after post-war, and fought all the evil foreigners and won.
And was definitely Japanese.
It was definitely Japanese and not a secret Korean. Let's be very clear about that. And yeah, it was like a giant national hero. And he had matches that drew like an 80 rating on television, and that means that 80% of every television that was on in the nation was watching him.
Yep.
And like, things now get 0.1
Yeah.
not 80. So yeah, he was it's hard to imagine what a big deal he was. Like, Rikidozan in Japan is bigger than any wrestler has ever been in the United States.
Yeah.
Like, bigger than Steve Austin, bigger than Hulk Hogan, bigger than The Rock, bigger than anything.
Yep. And definitely Japanese.
And definitely not stabbed to death by the Yakuza with a pea knife.
Well, a knife's a knife, Scott.
Especially,
it's not about the size.
It's about how much...
It's about how big your cums are.
It's about how much urine is on... It's about how big your cums are?
Well, isn't that the rule? Doesn't matter how big it is, as long as you're making big cums.
I suppose. Well, that's why I go back to part 1 and mouse and rat balls.
Giant balls, small dick, because you're just making big loads.
Giant balls, regular dick, not small dick. So maybe small compared to the balls, but regular for your body size.
Gotcha.
And just some of
I'm
the
very confused.
Some of the biggest cums you've ever seen.
Oh God, I haven't seen a lot, so that's not a big statement for me.
Yeah. Where do we get from there? Oh, the weird line you have to walk in wrestling movies between work and shoot. Because it's how are you going to approach your wrestling movie? Are you approaching, because there are some wrestling movies where all the fights are real.
Yes.
And then there's wrestling movies where it's acknowledged that all wrestling is scripted. So then what's the conflict if it's a predetermined fight?
Right.
Yeah. Then obviously different movies handle it different ways. So this one handled it with wrestling is scripted, but the squid wants to fight for real, basically.
Yes, yeah. Which none of this is real except for the squid.
This. So I like that. Yeah, then you sort of get training montage stuff with both of them.
Yeah.
And they're hesitant to at first book the match because they're like, we can't have a squid fight. This is nonsense.
Yeah.
It'll bring shame. It'll bring dishonor.
It'll be great to shame.
But then like the squid's like hometown all gets behind him, and they're like, let Squiddy fight.
What? How do they know where he's from?
Arr, Squiddy. I don't know. Oh, he did go to he trained in Pakistan. I think they mentioned that, but he's not from Pakistan. He went to some monastery. Maybe, I think was the TF in Pakistan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
During the montages of training, they're like interspliced sort of with like clips of interviews with people about fights.
Yeah.
About the match coming up, and then poor Takayama.
Yoshihiro Takayama, a mobile.
Yeah.
Yoshihiro
Has
Takayama.
half of his face just never worked?
He's
or is it because of Don Fry?
No, I think it was before. He's always had like a real Goonies ogre face. Sloth.
Because it's like sloth.
Ogre's our boy from Bloodsport.
Yeah. No, but it's like
no, he's a real sloth.
It's like one of his eyes doesn't really work properly, and
he's got like sort of Bell's palsy mouth.
Yeah,
and he's all kinds of stuff going on.
Yeah,
he's always been a mess though.
He's a Bell's boy.
Yeah, but he's in as himself.
Yeah, doing an interview.
The only wrestler who played himself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, just doing an interview about who would win between the Calamari Wrestler and Taguchi.
Yeah, so fun to see him not paralyzed.
Yep.
That was cool. I actually kind of dug the the sort of color palette they used for the whole thing and filming style. It was kind of interesting, like the sort of like muted colors.
Yep.
For everything, I liked how it looked for obviously not a high budget movie.
Yeah, I think it was. It could have been much worse, like production value wise, and also just like style wise. It was definitely better than I thought it'd be.
Yeah.
One note I made that I know what it's about, but I just wrote, "Oh Japan, you can't help yourself, can you?" With the
it must have been something
sex scene Or like the
yeah.
groping scene or
Yep.
whatever. Like, of course, you're going to have a guy with tentacles and he's not going to fuck.
Hey, come on. Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. So it comes out that that the squid used to be this guy's mentor. Also, this guy's girlfriend used to fuck that mentor. And he basically he starts getting all insecure. Like, who's the better fuck, me or the squid?
I know he's got 8 tentacles, but I only got 1 dick, so who's better?
Yeah, so oh yeah, I'm not really sure what the context. I wrote all caps Squiddy fucks.
That's probably it.
So it's probably that for sure.
I also believe at one point Nishimura, when he's not a squid, not a calamari.
Yeah,
I believe he refuses to get shots or something, or like he refuses to get.
Yeah, because
like medical but he says something.
Because he still has the terminal disease when he's a guy.
Yeah,
I think is the deal.
I just wrote Nishimura, anti-vaxxer.
He is an anti-vaxxer, absolutely, yeah, and yeah, because the girl goes back with the squid, and because he gives into his carnal desires, he reverts.
He's a man again
to human with a terminal disease, and then won't get the shots for it.
Yeah.
But then he goes through a grueling monastery bell ringing ceremony
where they clong his noggin.
They clong his noggin a strange number, like 200 and something times.
Yeah.
Like one for each, I don't know, ghost.
Or each day left he has to live.
This is something like that. And then back to Squid. And then, but then Squiddy's trainer goes to Akira.
Yeah.
And he's like, this guy's gonna kick your ass.
He's gonna fuck you up.
we got to do something about this. So then Akira trains with Squiddy's ex-trainer, and then we come to the fight. Right, I'm not missing anything big. Squiddy's out first as a challenger, and then here comes Akira. But he's an octopus now.
I wrote, oh shit, Taguchi got octopussied.
I wrote, oh snap, fighting fire with fire.
Yeah.
I like that. So then we have great New Japan wrestlers Akira and Osamu Nishimura wrestling in giant cephalopod suits. What a time to be alive.
At this point I kind of just wrote Calamari is now the face.
Kind of, yeah.
But how is Taguchi not the face?
He's not. It turned into double face.
But they kind of portray him as the villain.
He kind of shifted heel a bit.
Yeah, I don't know.
And they have a big leggy fight with a whole lot of tentacles. Yeah. The only thing that looked good was the giant swing.
The giant swing was fun.
Everything else was a lot of arms.
Just a lot of arms smacking each other.
Yeah, and Squiddy wins the title. And then does Rocky Adrian with the girl, literally.
Yep.
And then now he's the champ, and everyone's coming for him. And they show a bunch of magazine covers, but clearly don't have the rights to magazines because one of them was Nationalist Geographics, which I was a big fan of.
Yeah.
It seems they changed what the title is because it sort of stopped being the IMGP heavyweight title and was then, for the next match, was introduced as the world's first interspecies animal championship match. I'm like, wasn't that our idea?
Yeah.
Did they steal this from the past?
They came forward.
Yeah.
They took our idea. They went back.
Fucking bullshit.
Fuck them.
I kind of got mad at that.
Dumb question.
Yep.
Squids and octopuses. They're not just close enough to be interspecies. If we're talking interspecies, we're talking squid and orangutan. I don't want an octopus and a squid. That's the same thing.
I was gonna say they though it's interspecies, it's a very specific set of species.
Yeah. If you're gonna do interspecies title, it needs to be two vastly different things.
Yeah, and we get 3 in this movie.
Yeah,
and they're all pretty close.
Yeah, they're
Squid,
all within...
octopus, and I don't know. They call it a squilla. I don't know what a squilla. It looks like a crayfish
I just
type
wrote,
thing.
Now there's a shrimp.
Yeah, it's shrimpy, it's lobstery. I could have looked up what a squilla is.
A Skrilla? I believe that's black slang for money.
A Skrilla, it's a genus. Oh, it's a mantis shrimp.
Ah, see,
There
I was
you go.
right. There's a shrimp.
You did it. Yeah, and that's all you get. I'm like, how come it all gotta be fish?
Shrimp.
Sounds like
Sounds
shrimp.
like shrimp. Oh, it's some shrimp for lunch?
So yeah, yeah, I don't know why it was confined to a very specific sect of undersea life where there's opportunity for mammals.
Because Japan likes things slimy and rapey.
That's very true.
Yeah.
And I think you've answered my question.
Uh-huh.
I was still mad at the interspecies title thing. I like that. Maybe it's what he beat the octopus with, but I think it was something off the top rope. I'm like, oh yeah, noted high flyer Osamu Shimura.
Well, I mean, it's a movie.
I know it's a movie. Got to do something spectacular.
It's a movie.
So anyway,
Gotta do the ram jam.
Squiddy's the champ now, but everyone's coming for him, and then he just gets fucking cold cocked on the street by a goddamn mantis shrimp with a boxing glove.
Yeah, one glove.
Yeah, I like that. And then that sets up the next match. And Super Japan Pro Wrestling is just a fucking circus now. And they kind of build to the big fight with them. I guess there's some more training.
Yeah, there's just more training stuff.
I guess Akira stopped being an octopus because
stopped being an octopus, and then he went to Nishimura and was like, "Yo, we need to like fucking stop this shrimp motherfucker."
Yeah, this guy's a dick.
This guy's a dick. We need to stop him. I'm not like I want the title back, but I can't let you lose it to him.
Yeah, I want to beat you for the title, not this dickhead mantis shrimp.
Yeah, a Squilla.
Squilla. Never heard Squilla, but I do know mantis shrimp. They're not this one, but there's that crazy like rainbow looking mantis shrimp.
Yep.
You know, those are wild. Might be the cover picture for this because I think they're really cool looking.
Are they like trains?
I like trains.
Are they like planes?
Planes are okay.
I see. I understand you. I understand you a lot better. The last couple notes I have is there was way more costume wrestling than I thought there would be.
There was a fair bit.
I definitely thought there'd be a little, but there was like a solid amount.
Two major scenes of costume on costume and one other scene of man on costume.
Yeah. And then I put once he's in human form, Nishimura versus the Squilla was pretty good.
Yes, I was gonna say
actually really
once you
good.
get all the legs out of the way, things get a lot easier. Yeah, because what was the reasoning for Nishimura reverting that time? He got his fear.
Yeah,
Fear. Yeah. And so then he was just a regular old terminally ill Osamu Shimura. But then he hulked up and ripped all the shrimp's arms off.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, and that's what the high flying was. Yeah, he finished with like some sort of like meteor kick. I'm like, I don't know if Nishimura has gone to the top rope in 20 years.
Probably not.
But then he won, and then the trainer who at times had trained both of them, who had kind of been out of the picture for a bit, comes back. Oh, no, it doesn't come back. The fucking the mantis shrimp reverts into their trainer, and which is why we hadn't seen him in a while.
Yep.
And it's the fucking Ricky Dozan, and literally my last two notes, spoilers, are Jesus Christ, it's Ricky Dozan. Jesus Christ, he's their dad.
I just wrote Luke, I am your father.
Yeah. So the old guy trainer appears from what was the shrimp, and they're like, wait a minute, the trainer is fucking Ricky Dozan.
Yep.
And god damn it. And he's like, and then he and the sons have a tense stare down.
Yep.
They all slap each other Inoki style.
Yep.
Good stuff. Fighting spirit. And then he's like, I'm both of your real fathers.
I fucked your mom. I fucked your mom.
Yeah.
Now you two are brothers. Let's go fuck their mom.
They all do a big group hug. Nishimura goes off with the girl. Do they have a squid baby? Is that what the thing was? That they have a squid baby. Nishimura stopped being terminally ill, and Akira can go fuck himself. I guess he does not get.
You were the hero at the beginning.
The hero from the beginning of the movie gets
fucking loser.
Nothing. No title. No bitch.
A total fucking loser.
Yeah. Sad.
Hashtag sad. Tweet.
Which of course takes us to the Phantom of the Paradise.
Phantom of
1974 from Nick S. And we did this incorrectly because I was told in no uncertain terms by one Nicholas S. that we were to do this and Little Shop as companion pieces on the same show. To which I say, tough shit. Here's this one.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say, oops.
What are you gonna do? But anyway, like, no, I get it. Like two, like wacky musicals from Days of Yore.
From Days of Yore. Days of Yore. Isn't that a song? I'm pretty sure it's a song.
No.
Okay. Well, so I'll start by saying I had just watched this not that long before we decided to do this.
Sitting on your because you were on a De Palma kick.
I mean, yes, I will say that I love his films.
Is it as good as Blowout?
No, absolutely.
Follow up question: Is anything as good as Blowout?
Blowout? No. Blowout is one of the best movies I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah,
it is so fucking good. If you have not seen, was it 1980? 70,
80,
81. If you've not seen 1981's Blowout, starring noted homosexual John Travolta, it rules.
It's unbelievable.
So good.
It's peak De Palma.
Like, De Palma is actually one of my favorite directors, even though he hasn't really directed like anything good since, I don't know, 1992.
I was gonna say the early 90s.
But is
the documentary good? Is De Palma good?
De Palma's good. Yeah,
okay,
that's not directed by him, Scott.
I know. I was just like, is it worth seeing the documentary about him?
Yeah. Yes. He did Sisters, then he did this.
He did Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants.
Then he did Carrie. Then he did Dress to Kill. Then he did Blowout. Then he did Scarface. Then he did Body Double. Then he did The Untouchables. Then he did Casualties of War. He did Raising Cain. He did Carlito's Way. The First Mission Impossible. Snake Eyes with Nicolas Cage.
I like Snake Eyes.
Mission to Mars.
Is that the one I like?
Yep, that's a good one.
Tim Robbins?
That's the good one, yeah.
That's the good one.
Yeah.
I really like that movie.
Then he did The Black Dahlia, which is fine. And then after that, he did some stuff.
He did bullshit.
He has a couple in production.
Really?
Yeah, but who knows if they're any good.
Who cares?
Who knows if they're any good, because they're like in production. He's got 3 with no release date, and they're just in pre-production.
He's cooking them up.
He's cooking something up.
Yeah.
Anyways. So I had just somewhat recently watched this.
Good timing. I wish I had just recently watched some of the movies that were recommended.
That's why you need to watch more things.
Didn't have to do
less Law and Order and more random ass
I haven't
movies.
watched any Law and Order.
I'm just saying, like, in your regular life.
I've watched a lot of Law and Order.
I genuinely hate most forms of musicals and rock opera type things.
Yeah.
I really, really don't like Rocky Horror Picture Show. I think it's super overrated. None of the music in it, none of the acting, like, nothing's good in it. It's terrible.
I'm telling you, Wheelchair Tim Curry, you think it's bad.
I think one of the things I really don't like is in movies, characters singing at camera.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I find it, like, really cringy.
I got you.
Like, really, really uncomfortable. But I love Brian De Palma.
Yep.
So I overlooked it.
That's fair.
And I'm glad that I overlooked it. Like, as far as musicals, rock operas, whatever, like, it is actually watchable. Like, much like Little Shop had some good songs in it. This one, like, the songs are fine, like, the singing is fine, but, like, everything that happens in it is, like, nuts. So,
I like the movie more than the songs in this.
Yeah. So, like, I'm glad that I watched it, and now I get to talk about it, I guess. I don't know.
Exciting.
So
strong start where they're talking about the producer and Paul Williams, maybe. Oh no, because we don't see him for a bit, so someone else is talking about the last woman they made a star, but then she's off doing her own thing, and she wants to go do concerts for starving gook orphans. I'm like, wow. 1974.
24. You can say whatever you want.
Yeah.
The first note that I made was the Juicy Fruits singing greasers.
Yep.
Love it.
And I love that those guys were every band in the movie.
That running gag is very
That was
funny.
sick. They were the Juicy Fruits, they were the Undead, and they were whatever the Beach Boys knockoff was.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, fuck. I should have wrote them down. I forgot to.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like, essentially it's sort of like a record producer who's looking for like new talent.
Yeah.
But like
he's built some giant new recording studio slash
like performing
like theater. Yeah.
Called The Paradise.
Yeah.
And he's looking for like weird new things. Like he doesn't want just like the regular. He wants
cool shit.
He wants cool weird things.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's got like these guys who are like singing greasers and that's sort of his thing. And then just like a guy, like a songwriter.
The guy who wrote all the music.
Oh, he wrote all the yeah. He wrote all the songs for them, and he's just sort of like, after they're done performing, just kind of playing the piano and singing.
Yeah.
Which is like pretty decent singing.
Yeah,
like,
it's
pretty good.
Yeah.
So this producer guy,
They're like, this guy's music is great.
They're like, yeah, this is good, but like, I don't want to like do it, like use him, like he's ugly. He's
got a hot girl.
He's doofy looking. So he sends like his sort of lackey to go like buy the songs. Like,
can we talk about the body shape on his lackey?
Yeah.
Because the first couple times he's like sitting down and he's only sort of shot from chest, shoulders up. And he's like, you can see he's like
stocky,
a big stocky guy. But when he stands up, he is so much bigger than you would have guessed.
Like,
he's full Grimace.
He's Grimace.
He's an absolute Grimace. Yeah. Like the...
And it's not like rolls.
No.
It's like a giant
He's a triangle.
Or
yeah.
triangle, yeah.
Yeah. Teardrop is good, actually.
Yeah.
Teardrop is pretty accurate. Where, like, that thing where it's not like an overhanging gunt, per se.
Yeah.
But somehow your stomach fat just, like, extends all the way to your thighs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, like, the bottom of his teardrop / triangle is almost his knees.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
He's a fascinating man.
He's a very bizarre looking human being.
I loved everything about him.
Can we agree that Winslow looks a lot like Allison Janney?
He kind of does.
Like a lot.
Yeah, he kind of does.
Yeah,
he is an Allison Janney type.
I was like, what? Is that just like a very young Allison Janney?
Is that Oscar winner Allison Janney?
Playing a man?
Did Allison Janney win an Oscar?
Yep.
I, Tonya?
Yep.
Cool.
Yep, for that stupid bird on her shoulder.
That stupid bird on her shoulder.
So yeah, but then he like obviously has anger problems because he like the guy is like, I
mean, he does just keep getting fucked over.
Yeah, but
he is real mad.
Yeah. So like the guy, he's
real Mad Mikey.
The record producer's name
is that a good
Mad Mikey?
2000.
Yeah, everyone's gonna get that.
4 TNA reference.
Everyone's gonna get that.
Yeah.
The record producer's name is Swan.
Yes.
Not Zwan. Swan. And he wants the songs.
Swan is played by Paul Williams, who is a weird little midget.
Yeah,
I don't know why. I don't know if I particularly care for his acting or his music, but I always get excited when he shows up in something just because he's interesting looking.
Yeah. So yeah, he wants the songs, but he doesn't want Winslow to sing them.
Yeah.
So what he kind of does is he's like, well, okay, he gets the lackey guy, like, you give us the songs now, and then you show up at his building on Monday morning, and we'll give you like, a meeting, and you can like, and he goes, okay, yeah, like I'll agree to that. So he gives him the songs. Then he shows up to get like his like meeting, and they're like, "Oh, I don't know, like
I've never seen this man before. Get him the fuck out of here!"
And then they beat him up, or they try to beat him up, and they do the fucking Benny Hill like
yes.
like running through the revolving door, and then they chase him out in the street, and like.
But what they end up doing to him is very funny.
Yeah,
they kick his ass. Put him in a dress and makeup.
Yeah.
Call him a fag a lot of times.
Oh, a lot. Yeah.
The cops show up, call him a fag a lot of times, then plant heroin on him and get him sent to jail for dealing smack.
Dealing smack.
Wow.
Can we also acknowledge the fact that the prison that he went to was Sing
Sing. Yeah.
That's pretty cute.
That was nice. I like
also,
that a lot.
I learned that apparently Swan is legit Phil Spector.
Oh, that makes sense.
Like, legitimately was based on Phil Spector.
That makes total sense, actually.
So he gets sent to prison, and like
And Phil Spector killed more people than the fictionalized version.
That is true.
Yeah.
So he is like completely deformed. Like, he's got no teeth left. He's got metal teeth.
Yeah.
He's
a Jaws type.
His face looks like it's been like surgically reconstructed.
Has his face been fucked yet, though? Or is that when he escapes jail?
This is just like the beatdown.
Yeah. No, he looks bad.
So then...
And he got a haircut.
And a stupid haircut.
Yeah,
stupid haircut. So yeah, he's like on the line making, like license plates or whatever. No, he's making games. It's like the game of life kind of knockoff thing.
Yeah.
And he's like losing his mind over the fact that he's just been betrayed. He's in prison. And then they try to, I don't know what they're gonna like move him to a different place or something.
I'm not sure what the deal was.
And he like has a total freak out.
Yeah.
And then runs away, hides in a giant box. They load it on a truck. He escapes.
Yep.
Like, no problem.
Yeah. Should have done that earlier.
He then like runs away and hides. Which then the next thing that I wrote was, so then they're showing like I don't know, like Swan. Oh, sorry, we kind of skipped over something. Like when he goes back to the paradise
bitch auditions
when they're doing all the auditions, and he meets this like gorgeous girl who's got a great voice.
Yeah, and
he's gonna like try to convince her to like get he wants her to get the songs, like she can be the singer so that she can give them back to him, and so that's sort of like a big thing. Is Phoenix is her name. And he then there's like this weird scene where like there's just a bunch of women laying naked or like laying half naked.
Yeah,
on
Swan,
this, like,
Swan fucks them all.
Giant bed.
Yeah,
because Swan wants to like just have bitches on command. Yeah. And he like hides in drag.
Yes,
and that's what leads to him getting beaten up.
Yes.
Yeah. So then she like is a good singer, and they acknowledge that, and they want her. And during like this sort of I guess not really a montage, but it's like showing like some events that are happening, and then there's like a newspaper, like the old swirl to the headline, and like
how
I love it. The headline
it also swirled for so long,
for a long time. Yeah.
Again, 70s, before there was editing.
Yeah, but I like that like the headline wasn't prison break, convict escapes. It's the paradise is opening.
Yeah, and then in the bottom corner.
No, it wasn't even.
No. There's different because when he escaped from prison, he was presumed dead.
Yeah. That's like a different thing. Yeah. But no, somebody didn't escape from prison. This dance thing's gonna open up.
Yeah, it's gonna be really cool.
Front page news, people.
Yeah.
So so then he sneaks back into the record studio area, and he's trying to steal his music, and he ends up getting his head
crushed in a record press, which was sick,
which is very funny. And like he just completely disfigures his face. Crushes his windpipe or his like vocal cord.
Yeah,
and so he stumbles out like all like just completely disheveled, and ends up hiding like in the attic.
Yeah,
the costumes room.
He finds a cool kind of falcon mask.
He finds like a metal falcon mask
in wardrobe,
and like a Phantom of the Opera style like.
Well, you got to go cape
and suit and whatever, and then
hides in like the rafters.
Hides in the rafters. The next note I wrote was there was some silly ass fat biker bodyguard running away.
Yeah.
When he like appears at the back, and they're like terrified of what he looks like, and they kind of like speed up the footage, but the biker is like too fat to actively run, so he's sort of like and like runs away around a corner from him. Yeah. That was pretty funny.
That was good.
Oh, here's the note that I wrote about somebody creating something. So anyways, So he sneaks back in and he's like hiding in the rafters and he's like, Phantom of the Opera style doing stuff like, scaring people, attacking people.
Yeah, well, the Beach Boy guys.
Yeah, so
are doing some performance.
The greasers from before have now been rebranded like Beach Boys types.
And they're doing some performance, and there's like a classic muscle car on stage, and he just fills the trunk of the car with explosives, and it explodes. I believe killing some people, and I'm like, terrorism works.
You know what? Terrorism does work. White terrorism,
sure,
the good kind,
IRA style,
the acceptable kind.
Yeah.
Oh, the Phantom of the Paradise is in the IRA.
I think so.
Cool. Didn't know that.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe he's a Sinn Féin or whatever. I don't know what's what. I think they're all bad. At the end of the day, they're all Irish, and I have no time for them.
Yes, that's true. So he gets like a radio box or something.
Yeah. So after he does, that's why I wrote terrorism works, because after he does the terrorism, Phil Spector is like, hey, let's not fight. You can
not fight.
You can write stuff for me, and I'll pay you. Here's this contract, and I'll even give you a funky voice block so you can sound a little less like a monster, but still a little bit like a monster. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's like trying to.
So they make a Faustian deal.
Yeah.
Literally with like a 1,000-page contract signed in blood.
Yep.
Also, he's writing an 800 movement rock cantare.
Yeah.
About Faust. Because we're on the nose.
Yeah. When he was when he first gives him the box and everything, and he's trying to talk, and it's like this distorted like non-voice, and he's trying to write songs to sing, and he's like got this like box with like knobs and gadgets, and he's like adjusting it so like he can sing like a regular person.
So it sounds more like
And I was like, oh shit, Swan created auto-tune.
I think he did. I think Swan created auto-tune.
T-Pain owns his life to Swan.
That's true.
Sick. Then he starts writing these songs and singing them. But then there's like...
Does he write the songs that make the whole world sing, or is that Barry Manilow?
Ooh. Is Barry Manilow the Phantom of the Paradise?
Can't prove he's not.
He can't. At one point, we see Swan like in his office, and his office is like a giant gold record desk.
It's cool.
That was pretty sick. I like that a lot. Like it takes up like the whole fucking room.
It's real nice.
Yeah, it was really, really cool. Then he's deciding like on who his next big act is.
So he's soured on Phoenix for whatever reason.
For whatever reason.
He's like, she's not cool anymore.
He doesn't like women. Yeah. She's a woman, doesn't like her.
But you know who is cool?
Beef.
Shout out to season 4, episode 1.
Yeah.
Of the news.
Also, shout out to Nitro Girl Beef.
Yes.
Yeah. So Beef.
Okay, so just before we get to Beef.
Okay.
I don't know if you noticed this. It was fairly quick, but they're announcing Beef at a podium at the airport.
Yes.
Did you notice what was up with the podium?
I know there's something weird.
There is something weird. So the podium has like a clearly like superimposed like in post-production logo of the record label on top of it.
Right.
And it looks so sloppy. So I'm like, was this filmed much earlier when they had done a different record logo or something? But it looks so weird to have this like green screened just logo over the podium. Like that's so like they did a bad job.
Yeah.
I didn't look up if anyone actually had information on it. It was so strange.
Also, I don't know if it's on purpose, but wasn't at one point the logo changed? So like it was a bird. And then
you go from a bird to a dead bird?
And then it's a dead bird, right?
Yeah.
But was that on purpose? Maybe it was.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, just this like...
That was very distracting, right?
Yeah. But more importantly, Beef.
So when he introduced Beef is kind of just every Brendan Fraser character. Isn't he, though?
Kind
Like
of.
he's kind of like Encino Man, and he's kind of like Bedazzled.
He's kind of like when he's the gay in Bedazzled.
Yeah, he's kind of like in Furry Vengeance. Like he's
Yeah.
kind of that, right? Like he's really like over the top, exaggerated, but like got like good charisma.
Yep.
And he kind of looks like Brian Bosworth.
He does.
And he's gonna be like the new face of the Swan's empire.
And he is backed by the undead, I believe,
Who are
like zombie misfits looking guys who are the same guys who were the Beach Boys.
The Beach
and
Boys
the
have been
Juicy Fruits.
rebranded again as
Yeah.
the undead, and they're doing this Faustian opera.
Yeah.
But now like Swan, I think he like realizes that he needs to keep control of the Phantom.
Yes.
Right, like you can't just like let him run wild.
Yeah, so he's like, when he finishes the music for this thing, I'm going to brick up the studio he's in, so he presumably dies there.
Yeah, I just wrote brick wall.
Yeah.
The brick wall that took him no time at all to get through.
Busted through at first opportunity.
With like ease.
Yeah.
I wrote one note that I did wrote just to go back to the Juicy Fruits is like they got booked like Vince books NXT call-ups.
Yeah.
Like don't give anything time to work, change it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't give it time to work, change it.
Now you're surfers now. Now you're zombies now.
Yeah. Yeah. You're no, this doesn't work. Now you're two gay guys and we're going to give you a manager and you have to get married. Oh, JK, you're not actually gay. Like that's exactly how they were booked by Swan.
Yeah.
So yeah, he gets out and then he decides that he's like, now he's really had enough. Now he's like been fucked over so much. He's a freak. He's gonna go on a rampage. So then there is a amazing Hitchcockian shower scene.
Yes.
Where he just, I mean, apparently like De Palma's thing is that he likes to throw nods to Hitchcock.
Okay.
So like this is like his big like, oh, what's the most famous scene in anything ever? Let's just do that.
Is that why there were so many birds in Mission Impossible?
Probably.
That's it. I was gonna like, should I make 10 more Hitchcock / De Palma references, or should we carry on?
Is that why he looks down a long staircase in Snake Eyes?
Makes you think. I was confused Snake Eyes and 8mm because I think I watched them on a Nick Cage day. It was a good day.
Very different movies.
Very different movies. Both fun though. One's I think one's good and one is not good, but has my kind of content.
Yeah. Is the fight in Snake Eyes Lennox Lewis versus Evander Holyfield? The boxing match?
Could be. I don't remember offhand.
I think it is. Canadian hero, Lennox Lewis, although he wasn't born here.
It doesn't look like he was born here.
What do you, I only have one note left, so what if you got anything else?
So what do we? So he kind of so the Phantom stumbles upon the Swan's record room and sees that he's made that he made a Faustian bargain with his reflection to look young forever. And they literally did Dorian Gray. I think the reflection even said like, "Hey, this picture of you will get older and you'll be cool. You'll be beautiful, weird-looking Paul Williams forever."
Yep.
And then Paul Williams, in turn, has made all these deals with all the people he signed, including Phoenix, and then Phantom, while he's skulking around on the rooftops, looks through the big skylight and sees Swan fucking Phoenix. And then he gets real fucking dramatic and tries to kill himself. And then Swan sees him and is like, actually you can't kill yourself, check your contract. and he literally can't. Phantom can't kill himself until Swan dies is the deal. And also he can't kill Swan.
Scott,
what?
Live on air podcast reaction.
Hit me.
That you're going to find out on Friday, so by the time this drops, we will have already known. Eve got us Aussie-style lemonade monsters.
Sick. Well done, Eve.
Just got a picture of it. You'll probably also see the picture in a second. God damn. I can't wait. By the time you hear this, Scott and I will both have consumed Aussie-style lemonade monsters.
Goddamn right.
Multiple ones.
Way to come through. Appreciate it. And she's been teasing me with something.
Oh.
Yeah. That, I don't know, like... Honestly, I feel like whatever it is, she's hyped it too big, but...
Well, I don't know what... Maybe she found Whiteout.
Drew, she found Whiteout. Oh, my God.
Or what is another thing we talk about a lot on the podcast that we need?
Pussy?
Oh, my God.
Is that an okay thing to say?
I guess. Do you have any more notes about Phantom of the Paradise? I got one left, and it's not like movie related. It's something on the movie or whatever.
So what did I have? So I had the
Can't kill yourself because unless I die.
Real dramatic. And then I had the rest were I just had two more notes, both about the ending scene. I said this end scene is too overstimulating for me. Like bring back the Hays Code. I want everything nice. I want no nudity. Yeah. I want Ricky and Lucy sleeping in separate beds.
Yeah.
It was too much. It would like the 1970s were screaming at me.
Yeah. It was just an acid trip
because it was like the big performance at the Paradise and just like screaming fans, camera everywhere,
flashing lights.
Too much.
Overstimulating.
Yeah, it was like it's like playing WarioWare on the Switch. I'm like, this is a younger man's game.
Yeah.
I don't like this. And then I just said, I think we could have cut De Palma's Coke in half and still been fine.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you could have done that.
So your thoughts?
The only note that I have left is, did you know that Sissy Spacek was the set dresser on this movie?
Oh, really?
Because her boyfriend at the time was the production designer.
Oh, I was going to say Brian
And
De Palma.
then several years later,
she got to be a Carrie
in his movie. Isn't that pretty cool?
That is pretty cool. I love these fun facts.
Yeah.
That's it.
Would you like to do 1994's Drunken Master 2, frequently known as The Legend of Drunken Master?
I would, and I will admit a lack of professionalism from myself on this movie.
No notes?
Full notes.
Oh.
I'm not a fucking asshole.
Well, you said lack of professionalism.
I'm not going to disgrace the good name of Antifa Catboy, who recommended this movie and has been doing timestamps for all the movies in our episodes so far, like a fucking professional. Because, I'm not gonna do them.
Does that hurt your autism?
No, it's great for my autism.
Oh, okay.
Cause like I ride this tricky line of autistic and lazy.
Sure.
So like I would love to go through and do the timestamps because I like time. I like information.
I appreciate the
records.
videos that I watch that have those.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I can skip the things I don't care about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If anyone's skipping any of this, get off our show. We don't need you. Whole thing or get out. He goes through and does them, and then I pin his post in the YouTube comments, and then Bob's your uncle.
Bob is not my uncle. My uncle is Michael or Milton.
My uncle,
or my dead uncle is David.
My uncle is Greg or Doug, both alive.
Doug?
Doug.
Is your uncle
your dad?
Are we cousins?
Oh, we shouldn't be doing what we're doing then.
Oh, boy.
Although Jeremy Irons would not mind.
Jeremy Irons is on our side.
What are we going to do? Make a boy incest baby? What's the worst that can happen? What is the worst that can happen with male-on-male incest?
Nothing. You fall in love.
It's a... worst case scenario.
Podcast incest coordinator, Jeremy Irons. Well, good for him. I'm glad he's doing that.
Yeah.
Here's my first note.
I mean, if this was 1 week, I'd do it.
Sure.
4 weeks?
No thanks.
Not doing it. So thank you, Antifa Catboy, and thank you for picking this movie.
I don't know if it's the red light from your microphone in front of your face or like the lamp behind you.
Am I spooky?
You look insane. You look like an insane person.
I get that sometimes.
Also because your hair is still kind of wild.
This is why
I bet you're happy that no one else can see it right now because you'd be very ashamed.
No, I bet it's kind of cool.
You'd be ashamed.
Is it a shamed hair or is it wild, cool hair?
It's a shamed hair.
I see.
So the first note I wrote is, why couldn't someone just pay us to watch Jackie's porn?
Yeah.
I would have done it. I think it's not that hard to find.
Someone else paid for porn.
Exactly. I would love to watch Jackie's porn for money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something to think about for next time, guys.
Absolutely. All right. This movie is 2 parts.
Oh, my unprofessionalism.
Oh, of course.
I didn't watch Drunken Master 1.
Okay.
I mean, normally that's a thing I would do.
Yeah. I don't think there's not that.
I don't think there's.
much
I mean,
of a
it's a lot.
connection.
It's what 1978.
78. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't think there's tons of connection.
No.
I would be mad at you if somebody had said watch Police Story 5, which is actually really good, but you hadn't seen 1 and 2.
Is there a 3 and a 4?
Yeah.
Oh, but 5 is good.
5 is 2018,
Oh,
so it's
okay.
old man Jackie.
Oh, that's
but
cool.
he's still a total badass. It's
like
really
that.
good. I
Nice.
actually really liked it.
I know 1 and 2 are legit sick.
Oh, they're so good. This is legit sick too.
This
though.
is also
But
legit
this
sick.
is a story of 2 things. This is kind of a dumb story and some of the greatest martial arts work you'll ever see. That's really what this movie is. I didn't really give a shit about the story, but I definitely
didn't either,
gave a
except-
shit about the fighting.
I gave a shit about the fighting too, and I also wasn't that into the story. Not there wasn't that much story anyway, but the ending, one of the best movie endings of all time.
Yeah,
we'll get to that.
Oh, absolutely.
Will.
It's in all caps as my second to last note.
Oh yeah.
So I don't. Okay, so Jackie is a poor young peasant boy.
I love shoplifting and hiding it under your shirt and pretending it's a hernia. That's a nice movie.
Perfect writing. So he and his father and his cousin, servant, nephew, whatever, are transporting goods on a train.
Ginseng.
But they have it's the ginseng that they. It's taxed or something.
Yeah, there's duty coming from the north to wherever they're
so
going.
they're well, we don't have the money for that. We can't pay for that.
Yeah.
So what they do is they bump into a rich guy and stuff it in his bag.
Force him to smuggle it
in, and then they'll get it
take
back on the train.
Yeah.
So, but here literally is the thing. My favorite. This is my note. My favorite. Local white actors.
Yeah.
That is some of my favorite things about
white guys speaking Chinese?
Or just
Sort of speaking
white
Chinese?
guys who are based in Asia.
Yeah.
That no matter how good or bad their acting
They're
abilities
getting
are,
cast because it saves a flight.
they need whites.
Yep.
So there are people that probably grew up in Hong Kong watching these movies that thought that this guy is Robert Redford. This guy on the same level.
Sure.
Because they're in every action movie.
He's the
and then
best.
it turns out they've never done anything outside of Hong Kong.
That's correct.
In the 90s or
Yeah.
80s. That's it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, there's a group of bad no-name white guy actors that are the rich people. So they get on the bus. Or sorry, the train. They get on the train, and then Jackie and his brother, cousin, whatever the fuck his name is.
Yeah.
They decide that they're gonna go. Okay, well it's time. Let's go to the storage area, where the bags are. Let's get the ginseng back, and we can come back to our seats and just whatever. But then they go, and they realize that between them in their area and where the baggage area is the rich person dining area. Mm-hmm. And so then the bodyguard, the guard guy there, won't let them through because they're obviously riffraff. Mm-hmm. So they decide
rapper?
Yeah. So they we need to figure out how we're going to get back there because we have to get that box back. Mm-hmm. So I was very maybe I just didn't pay attention for a split second. Where the fuck did the ducks come from? They were just in a compartment.
I think that's just China.
Okay.
I think there were just some ducks on the train.
So there was a bunch of ducks.
Yeah.
And what they do is they decide, okay, we're going to open the thing. All the ducks will run in. In the confusion, I'll just run through to the other cabin. And they won't even notice. So they pick up ducks and then they open the door. And I swear, it's 50 or 60 ducks.
A lot of ducks.
and they just like throwing ducks at people. And I wrote, there is zero chance that none of those ducks got hurt or killed for real.
Oh yeah,
because like people were throwing them.
Yeah.
They were like running into them.
Some
like,
ducks were hurt in the making of this movie.
Yeah, but I mean, it's Hong Kong in the 90s. No one fucking cares.
Yeah.
Although, to be fair, just to clarify, the movie is not set in the 90s.
No, it's set in the 50s?
Yeah, 50s or 40s. Like, it's much earlier.
Yeah.
But yeah, there is no way that those ducks didn't get hurt.
Oh, no. Absolutely.
So Jackie, he runs through to the other train. He's going to look for the package he's hidden, and he sees another guy there who's also digging through some stuff, and he steals a package that looks exactly like the one Jackie has.
Yeah.
So Jackie's like, oh, you're a thief, and he escapes out the window onto the roof. Yeah. And Jackie's kind of like, oh, like, okay, well, here's my package, I'll take it.
I get this.
But then as he's leaving, the rich guy who he hid the package on is coming through the train to where his stuff is.
Yeah.
So Jackie panics and also escapes out onto the roof. They run along the roof. He's chasing them, and then there's guards on the roof for some reason.
Yeah.
And the first guy, so the train stops at the station, and then he jumps down to the ground, and then they see Jackie, and he panics and jumps to the ground and hides under the train. And then he sees the other guy, and he goes like, "Hey, like I just need you." Like he's trying to explain to him,
"Yeah,
I have your package, you have my package." Yeah. But the guy's like, "You're a traitor, get away from me!" And I just wrote, Jackie as an actual fighter, but as a choreographer, is on such a completely different level than anyone that has ever lived in the entire world.
I believe you're correct.
The under train fight scene is one of the craziest things I've ever seen.
It is nuts.
In that tight, compact space.
Basically, neither guy can move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, the two of them have this just incredible... Because he's got a staff with a spear on the end, and Jackie's got nothing.
Yeah.
And it's just a series of, like near misses, counters, blocks, like rolls and stuff, but it's all underneath a train's car.
There's a bunch of ambulances outside.
Oh, maybe my neighbor committed murder-suicide. Oh, it's down there, though.
It passed the little park area.
Oh.
Yeah. It's not right outside. Sorry, I didn't want to get your hopes up.
I thought it was across the street where I might get to see a dead body or something. Ooh. Although I've seen enough dead bodies in my life.
There's a cool purple light across the street.
That's in the park.
No, in that one guy's apartment.
Oh, yeah. It's a woman, and she teaches, like, Zumba classes or something in there.
Nice.
She's
a Billy Blanks type.
She's an Asian.
I guess that's Taibo.
Yeah.
Not Zumba.
Zumba.
Under train fight,
yeah. Yeah, it's incredible. Like, everything about it is amazing. Then eventually, like, the guy kind of tells Jackie, like, you know, hey, like, he wins, like, kind of wins the fight, but without, like, doing any serious damage. But it's just, like, the fight's over, and he's, like, calls him a traitor again, and then runs away. Yeah. And then Jackie comes out to try and find him, chases him into, like, a barn, where he's kind of like, hey... first of all, I'm not a traitor.
Yeah,
I'm not a traitor.
Calling me that.
Like, stop calling me that. And then he like explains to him like, you know, like what's going on with the packages. But then they just end up having another
fight,
incredible fight scene.
Yep.
Where this time, does Jackie has a sword now?
I think Jackie's got something to defend himself with this time.
He's got a weapon, and yeah, they just have like another incredible fight scene, and yeah, which leads to, again, Jackie just, like, getting knocked down. He shows him that he's got the drunken boxing fighting style.
Yeah, drunken fist.
And they sort of, like, have this conversation about how, like, it's a flawed fighting style.
Which I think that's what the first movie is about him learning it.
Yes. Yeah. So, so what ends up...
Learning it from Drunken Master, which means there really isn't a Drunken Master in this movie.
I mean, in theory, I think Jackie is the drunken master now, but they don't actually say that.
Yeah.
So like they have this other like huge fight, and then he ends up like kind of taking his stuff and leaving because the train's coming. So the train's leaving, so they're like grab their stuff, run back to the train, but then the other guy doesn't get on the train. Jackie gets barely makes it on, and gets helped up by Andy Lau, who is like more recent years is like very popular, like action star in China.
Yeah.
But I was like,
Yeah.
oh, a very young Andy Lau.
Andy Lau.
Crazy. And then I looked, except for he was 34 at the time.
Wow.
So I was like, man, he's old
he's
now.
pushing 60 now.
Yeah. But like, I thought he would be like 25.
Or is 60, yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, that was crazy. So then it's kind of revealed that the reason that the thing that Jackie, the other guy was after, Jackie still thinks he has the ginseng in the package. So he goes back to sit down with his family, and then they stop him because like there's been a theft because the rich guy who he planted it on realizes his package is gone.
Yeah.
So they're checking everyone, and they're like, hey, it's those guys. Like, check them. And then there's some funny Jackie comedy, because, like, it's... Because
he keeps
what's in that
switching-
box?
yeah.
And he goes, oh, you mean this box? And he, like, shows him the same one. He's like, no, this one. Oh, this one?
Yeah.
And then he's like, no, you put one between you on the seat. Like,
No.
And then he goes, no, I don't know what you're talking about. And he goes, no, I need to see that one right now. And so he, like, very slowly brings it over, because he's opened it and realized that there's the wrong thing in it.
Yeah.
And then he ends up getting protected by Andy Lau, who's like, no, like, they haven't left.
It's cool.
They've been here the whole time. They're like, shut up, who are you? And he shows him his badge. And
It's
he's
like, I'm Andy Lau,
yeah,
bitch.
Yeah, he's like fucking like government, like high level government guy. And they're like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, they leave him alone. So like the thing he's got in the package is like an ancient like artifact.
Yeah, it's like an jade imperial seal, or something like that. It's like a big giant jade, cool looking thing.
Yeah. And so these like the noted local bad guy white actors from before are like rich, expensive collectors who want it
to bring back to England.
Yeah. And first of all of the white guys are speaking in dubbed Chinese.
Yeah.
Which is very funny.
It's great.
Then I wrote, so like, then they show like the guy, like the main guy, and he's looking at all of his artifacts and whatever.
Yeah.
And then they show like a factory where they're like manufacturing the sparks for the one.
Yep.
And I just wrote, is that the what are they called? The Uyghurs in that factory?
It might be a factory full of Uyghurs.
Is that the Uyghurs working in the factory where they're making them do forced labor?
There is no actual time when quote unquote America was great. Like, mega guys don't actually know what they want. Right? It's nothing. It's just this imagined thing. But there is a definitive time when Hong Kong was great. And that was British occupation.
Oh, I mean, I think I wrote a note, didn't I? Oh, maybe not. No, but I definitely thought that to myself. That oh man, there's nothing greater than like making the guards wear the old timey like British like guard stuff from like the, I don't know, the like 1800s India.
Yeah, like I'm getting like MHK BOA red baseball hats.
Yeah.
Make Hong Kong British occupied again. That's what I want. And then I'll fucking move there.
Yeah. It'd be a cool place to live, I think, as long as it's not Chinese.
British Hong Kong seems awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
You get to have a bunch of Chinese people with British accents. It's great.
Best.
It's great.
Yeah.
So yeah, after that, then Jackie like realizes what he has, but he doesn't tell his family until they're like back home.
Yeah.
And that causes like some issues with his dad. So his dad is like very strict and like, you know, stop fucking around, Jackie. Like, this is a serious like export business that we have.
Yeah.
Like, I think he wants him. Does he want to like, give it to the police or something? I don't remember.
Yeah,
He wants him to get, or maybe he wants to find the guy that they stole it from and give it back to him or something. I don't remember.
Maybe, yeah.
I feel like the subtitles were bad.
Some were not great, yeah.
So yeah, I just wrote like Jackie's got daddy issues.
Yeah.
And his dad essentially like kicks his ass and tells him like, you know, like you're a drunken disgrace.
Mm-hmm.
So he ends up like meeting back up with the guy that he fought under the train.
Yeah.
And then that's when the explanation of like what the jade stamp, like everything is, and
he
why
was
he was
stealing
taking it to
back
keep it away from the British, like it needs to be
for
kept
China's
here
honor.
in China or Hong Kong. So then they're like having a discussion about it when like they hear sneaky noises, and then the Axe Gang from Kung Fu Hustle show up.
Yeah, at this point I wrote, hold on, like I guess I haven't watched that many, but is there an Axe Gang in every Kung Fu movie?
Well, I think the Axe Gang in Kung Fu Hustle is sort of a homage to this.
Okay. Because it's literally an axe gang with axe tattoos and axes.
I think it's probably... I think
it's gotta be.
An homage
because it's
to
literally
this.
this.
Because I can't imagine that Stephen Chow has never seen The Legend of Drunken Master and then just like decided, axe gang.
Yeah, like I watched these in the wrong order. It's like seeing Spaceballs before Star Wars.
Well, Star Wars is just unfunny
Spaceballs.
So... They show up, and then Jackie and this other guy just have like an awesome fucking fight scene with like a big ass thick bamboo stick that like over the progression of like blocking shots and stuff sort of gets like shredded at the end, so it's like it almost looks like a broom or like a paintbrush.
Yeah.
And then he starts using that as a weapon. There's several like very good like smacks to the face, smacks to the body. There's some good stunt work like falling out windows.
Yeah, jumping out of window stuff, jumping down to the lower
down to the lower level and stuff. Like there's some really, really cool stunt work in it. And again, just like some awesome fight scene.
And does this go from here to him fighting the few top guys?
Yes, eventually, yeah.
Because I think it's when he fought the top guys where I just wrote, Jackie Chan has so much fucking charisma.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Unlimited charisma.
God
and unlimited
damn
energy, too.
Oh, can't stop, won't stop.
I also wrote greased up shirtless Jackie is not something you see very often.
No.
But he was doing it.
And then to improve his drunken style, he slams 2 bottles of liquor as if that wouldn't kill a Chinese guy.
But he's a drunken master.
I guess.
One thing before I put that was like he sort of gets like the local like town folk who are like to like back him up against the bad guys.
Yeah. And
one of their first lines of defense is to throw snakes at them.
Yes.
Just like a handful of snakes at every guy. I'm like, snakes, the ultimate defense.
Yeah.
Sand and snakes.
Speaking of snakes, because they dealt in ginseng and they were talking about like other, like Chinese medicine and whatnot, and just so casually talking about snake gallbladders and how that's obviously medicine,
real thing.
Like
Ghosts are real and snake bladders work. Those are the 2 things I know.
And women shouldn't drive.
Women shouldn't drive.
Is there one shred of science behind any Chinese holistic medicine, or is it literally all superstition and ghosts?
All superstition and ghosts.
It's nothing, right? Like
there's never been any proof that any of it actually works.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there are things that
honestly respect.
There are things that there are like proven like
there's some things that are good for
benefits,
you. Yeah.
But they're not like, oh, if you take this, it will cure your baldness.
Yeah.
Or you take this, it'll cure your limp penis.
Yeah.
Like, there's none of that.
Yeah.
Like, it's just all old-timey beliefs
it's
from
all
crazy old people.
4,000-year-old magic.
I would imagine, too, that, like, at some point, you'd think that, like, in the next 2 generations, maybe, that, like, all of that will disappear.
Maybe once China is allowed to have Twitter.
Yeah, maybe. Or just, like, once all the, like, currently old people die, and it's just, like, that's not a thing anymore.
Yeah. But one thing I've been thinking about lately, though, is that but like anything like they'll stop being so much religious fundamentalism, blah blah blah, for the same reason. But I'm like the problem with young people is that they turn into old people.
Sure, but the young people
you just have to hope.
Well, because like the young people, let's say the young people before would like be exposed to church, until they were like an adult, and then they could just not go.
Yeah.
But if there's no exposure to it, then it's not like they're going to all of a sudden at 23 or 40 like go to church.
Yeah.
Right. So I think if you're like, your parents don't believe in like the holistic stuff, then when it comes time for you, you're just not going to believe in that shit. So you're not going to push it onto your kids, and then your kids just won't even know it existed.
Kind of dies out.
Right?
Yeah. Like that's what I hope for in general with, dumb beliefs in general. I just worry about that sometimes. Like,
yeah. Well, if you look at like Europe, I think Europe is like rapidly becoming one of the least religious places in the world.
True. That's true.
Same with parts of North America are be like less and less and less. So you got to imagine that at certain points in time, it's going to become more agnostic than Christian. Yeah. But the problem is that there's another religion that's kind of taking over, and that's one of the problems.
The good one.
The good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then Jackie kind of this is leading to him having the confrontation with sort of like the henchmen, like the head henchmen, and then the bosses. So he does have like a big fight in a warehouse where he's gone to because they beat him up and they steal the jade press.
Yes, they get it.
So then he goes back to help to get it, and he's teamed up with sort of like. There's like another guy in the village who's also some kind of master that he has a fight with earlier, but like
the fish guy,
but they're like kind of like acquaintances.
It's a little,
but they just don't get along all the time. It's sort of like an older brother situation where like
it's like a friendly rivalry.
Yeah, but so he kind of like convinces him to team up with him.
Yeah,
and he's like, look, I can't do this on my own, but like there's okay, fine, like let's team up to do it. So he ends up going there to fight the big bosses. He has like a big fight scene in the warehouse where he like kind of kicks like the lower end guys' asses. Then there's like I don't know, what is he, like a Spanish guy with a big ass fucking chain wrapped around his arm.
Yeah,
and then
that was something.
They have like a big fight where like the guy like is trying to hit him with the arm, and Jackie gets some of the chain off, and then he like there's a lot of like counters where like he's holding the chain and the guy like ducks under.
Jackie's the king of counters.
Oh, he's the king of counters.
Yeah.
And then he's bigger than him, so he overpowers him back to the wall.
Yeah.
And he and the wall is sort of like a foundry type thing. So it's like a brick wall with like pouring like hot liquid like metal into it, and he puts his foot up against it to stop it because he's like trying to not get dumped into it. And he eventually like his foot starts to catch on fire, which I'm like, that wouldn't happen, but okay. So his foot's catch on fire and he realizes it, and so he's got like really quickly like just a flash, like the fastest front kick you've ever seen.
Oh my god.
From being behind him against the wall to forward and hitting him in the chest.
Yeah.
He goes flying, and then Jackie's like foot's on fire, and he's like trying to put it out, and his buddy runs in and gets like he yells his name, scoops a bucket of water, throws the water in the air, and Jackie does a running, jumping like front kick into the water that puts his foot out.
Yeah,
and it is the greatest thing I've ever seen.
It's amazing, and
it fucking rules.
And from here on, Jackie Chan sets himself on fire about 4 more times.
Yes, he does. So now that he's kind of beaten all those guys, and then it turns out that like the business guy he stole it from is sort of like the number 2, like behind the guy who's like the actual buyer. Yeah. And I just wrote, holy shit, business jerk could move.
Oh.
His kick speed and movement.
He was a
like
kick man,
way faster than Jackie.
Yeah.
But like I don't know if Jackie was like downplaying because he just like had a big fight and so he was tired.
Yeah,
but
oh boy,
yeah. So like he ends up getting up on this top level.
We got a kicker,
and the guy's foot speed and like kicks and
unreal.
And even throwing like feign kicks or like fake kicks, and he's just like up, down, up, and then he does like a standing splits at one point where he's
like 1 foot on the ground, the other foot straight up.
Yeah, like all the way up 180 degrees, and like it was nothing. Like he didn't even see.
Oh, so and then he like held it, and like talked to him.
Yeah, like it was nuts.
Yeah.
So that
guy was cool.
So they have this big fight, and then like another henchman comes. So he's sort of like fighting a couple people, and then he gets hit in the leg with like a burning hot rod that burns his leg.
Yep.
And then he's like trying to avoid these other hits from like the kind of shittier henchman guy, and then there's just like on this platform, there's like next to it is like I don't even know what it was. It was just like a bin of burning hot coals. But like for what? Like in the context of this building, what is it for?
Those sparks aren't going to make themselves.
You know what? You make a good argument. So so Jackie kind of gets backed up into it, and then he just gets this big front kick, and he takes like a big back fall.
Falls into what you see during the closing credits are just real hot coals.
Real hot burning coals, and he's covered in like, the like anti fire retardant. The other word is coming later. And yeah, he just like falls in it. He like scrambles to get away from it, back from it, and he's like burnt to a crisp. Yeah. He like falls off the platform to the ground, and like his hands are like all completely destroyed, and he's just been like wrecked to shit. Yeah. He then, but then he kind of realizes that like he grabs booze, but to me it looked like wine.
And we find out it was industrial alcohol.
Yeah. Because like at first I was like, well, wine's not flammable. Yeah. Like not that kind of wine.
Yeah.
But then it's like an industrial strength, but like whatever they're using that for.
Who knows?
There's a lot of real convenient.
Same thing they're using the coals for.
Yeah, there's a lot of really conveniently placed things around.
Yeah.
So so he realizes that like, he can utilize this fire. So the guy's got like the red hot poker pole again.
Yeah.
And Jackie like takes a big swig and then just blows it and just burns the guy to death essentially.
Yeah.
But then he accidentally ends up swallowing it.
Yeah.
And now he's like,
oh boy.
Like he's gonna vomit, and he like vomits up fire.
Yeah.
And then realizes.
Yeah, I'm like, how is it igniting by itself? Well, anyway, it's China.
It's China, or it's Hong Kong. But so yeah, he like starts like getting very drunk off it, because I would imagine that the alcohol percentage is 95%.
Yeah,
enough to kill a man. Mm. So now he's like the ultimate drunken master. His face is like uncomfortably purple. Yeah, like it looked like it was Jackie working through choking on something. Yeah, like he didn't want to tell someone he was dying. So he like his face looks disgusting. He's like. But he's doing the drunken master technique, the drunken boxing, and then they have like another
amazing fight.
Some like the greatest counters, blocks, and reversals in the history of anything ever.
Yeah,
like some of those moves only Jackie Chan could do.
Oh yeah, like, there's a lot of Jackie exclusive stuff in this movie.
Like catching kicks behind your back and then like throwing another kick over.
Yeah, there's some absolutely nutso stuff.
Just insane. And like it's so cool. Like this is like the prime of Jackie Chan's choreography and fighting.
Yeah,
like
94 is a good Jackie year.
This is really like there's Rumble in the Bronx, which is maybe a little less fighting because it's more like regular action.
Yeah.
And like First Strike's got a lot of good stuff, and then both like the first Rush Hour movie, I guess the second Rush Hour movie's got a lot in it too. Mm-hmm. Third one's got I don't know, maybe the best director of all time. And
can't disagree.
But yeah, so Jackie manages to like finally put the guy down.
Yeah.
And then
with a torture rack throw.
Yeah. He kind of like almost like a lucha slam. Like the lucha slam, but forward. Mm-hmm. Like a guy facing up. He slams him through like a, I don't know, like just like a big case of something.
Bunch of shit.
A bunch of shit, and he's like dead.
Yeah.
And Jackie's just beat to shit. But he's like finally like vanquished the bad guys.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. And then, I mean, that's kind of...
Except the very end.
Well, I mean, as far as the story.
I guess before the end, we never mentioned his stepmom, who is a manipulative bitch with borderline personality disorder.
Yes. Yeah. Who at one point gets slapped and her face stays in place where it's been slapped.
She can't talk. A slap gives her Bell's palsy.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's like, I love her, but she's the worst kind of woman. Yeah. Like when her husband's mad at her, she's like, "Oh, I know I'm terrible. Why don't you just beat me to death? Why do you kill me?"
I mean, she's also kind of like the slumlord in Kung Fu Hustle too, like a little bit.
True.
So after that, Jackie like reconnects with his like, I don't know, his brother, cousin, slave, whatever the guy is that he was with the whole time, and takes him back home so like his dad can Apollo's also like we kind of skipped over too, but it's not that important. But his dad also has like a big fight scene too. That's pretty good.
Yep.
He kind of fights like I don't know what, like one of the local jerks.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. So he's like trying to explain to him like, oh, like because they're like, oh, like is he okay? Is he okay? And he's like, oh, he's blind. Like he's practicing blind techniques because he's like can't see, right, or something.
Yeah.
And then he goes, but I don't think it's just that he's blind.
Well, no, yeah, because the when he drank all the industrial alcohol, like because that was affecting his eyes then.
Yeah.
And they're like, it did not turn out great for his eyes, so now he's a blind drunken master type.
Blind drunken master.
But it also affected his brain.
Yeah. And Jackie's like, so his back is away from camera as he's like sort of practicing.
And now he's like in
these
full,
moves.
but he's in like full like kung fu master.
Yeah, like traditional
garb.
kung fu master garb.
He's a real Fei Long,
Chow Yun Fat
from Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Was he the Bruce Lee?
Yeah,
in Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Anyway, but not even that. But like the full, like the funny, like
the black cap and the
cap,
the loose
with the palm
fitting,
and the whole
deal. Yeah, the whole kit and caboodle.
Yeah.
And he's back to camera.
Yeah, they're like, so bad news. The all that shit he drank affected his eyes and his brain.
And he turns around, and Jackie is acting fully retarded. Full on
simple
gag retarded.
Simple Jack.
And it is the best. I just wrote retarded Jackie in all caps.
Oh, Simple Jackie. We did it. He's just absolutely going for it, and that's the end of the movie.
Well, and then you get the blooper reel over the credits.
Bloopers / the times Jackie got hurt.
Yeah, and I wrote, like, the bloopers at the end of Jackie movies are always just so insane.
Oh, yeah.
Like, the amount of time...
Because you're not really thinking about it during the movie, but like, oh, yeah, they had to do this.
Yeah. Like, if there was, like, the one where he accidentally got crushed by that barrel.
Yeah, smashed by the barrel. And the one where he, like, just, like, gets in a guy's face a little too quick, and they smack noses.
Faces. And
they're
then
both bleeding.
Obviously, the going on the coals, and they show like the not only landing on the coals, but also like the aftermath of him like struggling to get up and
trying
walk
to get
down
off
the stairs,
fire extinguishers
and stuff. Like, I mean, I can't believe Jackie's still like able to walk and alive.
But
amazing. Also, Chinese people live to be 120, so
that's true.
Maybe he'll be alive for a long time.
Barely halfway through his life.
Barely.
Last thing I wrote was Jackie Chan should get an honorary Oscar every year.
I agree. Oh yeah, I agree.
I'm glad he got one, but he needs more.
He needs more. Yeah. He's probably the person who, like, in the history of movies, is the least appreciated because he did so many silly things later on.
Yeah.
Like, he kind of lost a lot of his street cred after, like, maybe the second Rush Hour movie because he just did, like, I don't know, silly things. And
The Tuxedo,
The Medallion.
Those are different movies.
Yep, those are different movies. The Kingdom one with him and Chow Yun Fat that everybody hated.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways. Yeah, that movie rules. It was so good.
That was good stuff. Very, very much enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And another fun movie, 2016's Army of One, recommended by Anonymous and not someone with the initials TH. Tommy Hilfiger?
Tim Horton?
The
Tim Horton? So
Tyler Hislop, a guy I went to school with, who look, credit where it's due to Mr. Tyler Hislop. I don't know if you know, I went to school in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada,
at an all Chinese school.
And I don't know if you know about the sport of badminton.
I know you played it.
And that it is traditionally a Chinese-dominated sport.
Yep.
And it was largely Chinese-dominated at my school, as it was in, I don't know, every other school that plays it in the world. The top two badminton players in my grade, number 1, Tyler Hislop. Number 2, Scott Henson.
Sick.
Yep.
Taking it back for the white man.
Taking it back.
This is how a white man plays guitar.
Shuttlecocking.
Army 1. This is actually something I had wanted to watch for a while because
number 3 badminton player, Chris O-Young.
O-Young.
Chinese.
O-H.
No.
J-U-N-G.
Irish O apostrophe Young.
Huh.
Chinese.
Full Chinese.
Full Chinese.
Well, I guess they moved to Canada and chose name.
I don't know.
I don't know. Well, what sounds good? Chow Young Oh Young. Yeah, this is something I wanted to watch for a while because the concept seems silly, and also I like Nick Cage, so I'm glad it was an option.
I'm glad, and we were given the option of Army of One or any Nick Cage movie, and we're like, yeah, this seems fun. We'll check it out. This movie very quickly, because when you get into a 2010s Nick Cage movie, you're like, what kind of Cage am I gonna get?
How much scenery is he chewing up? What silly thing is he doing?
Yeah.
What gimmick does he got?
Or is he doing nothing and it's fucking boring?
Yes.
Because that's on the table with a lot of those. Yeah. But it very quickly answered the question of whether it's going to be Crazy Cage or Boring Cage. And this was Crazy Cage.
Crazy Cage.
And it was great.
I said, Scott.
Hey.
He can't possibly keep this voice up the whole time, can he?
I thought the same thing. Spoiler, he did.
He did the whole fucking time. I didn't take a lot of notes for this, but not because there weren't notes to take, but because I was just kind of enjoying the ridiculousness of the concept.
I very much enjoyed it too.
So it's based on a true story.
Yeah,
I mean,
a real guy.
There's some
guy whose voice is not as silly
as
Nick Cage's voice.
Kind of silly.
It's silly, but Nick Cage really went for it. He's like, I'm going to make fun of this guy.
He's got a full beard, long hair, gray and white.
Yep.
It's based on a real guy who kind of just like a total loser who had nothing going on.
Yeah, but by all psychological tests is not crazy.
Nope.
But is also crazy.
Yeah. He's a non-diagnosable crazy person.
Yeah.
Like doctors wouldn't be able to tell you he's crazy.
He's not delusional, he's not schizophrenic, he's not whatever.
Bipolar, he's nothing.
But also he's crazy.
So he this movie takes place post 9/11.
Yep.
Where the government is
after the best year on record, 2001.
Where they are on the hunt for Osama bin Laden, and he's very delusional to the sense of like, it can't possibly be this hard to find him. Like, I could just go to a cave and I'd find him.
It did kind of seem like that at the time.
Yeah.
How can the U.S. military, with all the power and money behind it, not find that fucker for 10 years?
It's a lot of caves, Scott. It's a lot of caves.
I guess it's a lot of caves.
And also, too,
and also they never found him and just faked it.
Well, and also for the first, several years, they were looking in, Afghanistan. And,
wrong country. What are you going to do?
Yeah, they weren't looking in the right place.
It's pretty chill they took no pictures and buried him at sea.
There was one picture that only got sent to Obama, and then he deleted it, and that was it.
Tea was served.
It was just directly to Obama. He was the only one who saw it, and then I'm Barack Obama, and I saw his dead body.
And I'm gay.
And I'm gay. So he just becomes he's obsessed with going, and he believes that he's being visited by God.
Which God?
The one true God, Muhammad, the Prophet Muhammad. The God played by, I don't know. Can we agree? Maybe the most annoying person that's ever been born, Russell Brand.
He's up there.
I hate him. I genuinely hate him.
I think he means well, but I hate him.
I don't know if he means.
Maybe he doesn't mean well.
I don't. He seems like one of those guys where I guess not necessarily guy, anyone who doesn't know how to turn it off.
Yeah.
He lives the gimmick 24/7. He can't. There is no real Russell Brand.
He seems like
being.
A bad hang.
Yeah, he's Russell Brand, the character.
Yeah, he would not be a good hang.
Yeah.
But I think I'm with him politically.
Yeah, he's very right. He's very left leaning.
He's harsh right like us.
He's very left leaning for sure.
Yeah.
But
knock it off.
I think he just. I can't imagine what a regular, just mellow evening with Russell Brand is like.
I can't picture it.
But I do respect that he got to fuck Katy Perry.
Sure.
I'm down with that.
Kitty Purry?
Katy Perry. I'm down with Katy Perry.
Yeah.
So, he believes that Russell Brand, who is God, is visiting him and has told him he needs to go to Pakistan to capture Osama bin Laden
alive.
Capture him.
And bring him to justice in America.
Yeah. So he...
And also, he's a patriot.
He's a patriot. He loves America.
Somehow,
USA #1,
yeah.
except for Texas, because Texas is first.
And like cars came up, and he was like American, the makers of the fastest non-fascist automobiles in the world. Because Italian and German make faster ones.
Yes,
obviously, but
can't be fascist. That's the problem.
Yeah. Yeah, so he loves America, and he goes to the bar with his best buddies, Will Sasso and Paul Scheer.
Good buddies to have.
Some good bald men.
Good buddies to have. 2
strong bald men.
Yeah.
I like all of that casting.
One of them's got better teeth than the other one.
Sasso's a little less gappy than Mr. Scheer, but it's charming on Scheer.
Yeah,
and good enough for June Diane Raphael, so it's good enough for me.
I don't like the pronunciation of her last name.
I don't either.
Raphael.
I don't want to sound like a Ninja Turtle.
Well, too bad. You are a Ninja Turtle. So yeah, he explains to them what the plan is. That he's going to Pakistan, he's going to get Osama bin Laden, and he's going to bring him back to America to face justice. And they're like, what? Like, what are you talking about? Like, you're a construction worker who sleeps at the construction sites because you don't have a home.
At the sites or my house.
Or my house on the couch, yeah. Where he just sits there and watches, like, the news full blast while yelling at the TV in the middle of the night.
That's a fun way to live.
That's a very fun way to live.
I like full volume news, yelling at it, in middle of the night, someone else's house.
Yeah, I'm going to do that sometime. I'm going to ask to stay at someone's house and then just scream at the TV. I'm sorry, I'm just real jacked up about this Russia-Ukraine thing. I'm a patriot.
God told me to get Putin.
Get Putin. I'll get
busy living or get busy Putin.
Yeah, I poot a lot. So yeah, I mean he decides that he's going to train to go. He goes to the Home Depot or like a knockoff Home Depot, I guess. Maybe a Lowe's.
Good, yeah.
Yeah.
A Rob Lowe's.
A Stuckey's. Is that a thing?
A Shoney's.
So he's like walking through the aisles like he works there, telling all of the customers over top of the employees what they need to be doing, what the correct thing is. You don't want to buy this because like I believe one of them is
don't buy that toilet. It's made in Africa.
Yeah, he pretty much said like don't buy this toilet. It's made by pygmies in Africa who don't even shit.
They don't take big shit. So that's not going to handle your American shit.
It's not going to take your American shit.
Why would you buy a faucet from a country having a drought?
Or like that doesn't even bathe, wasn't it, or something like that?
There were 2.
There was 2, yeah. So like he's just going around spouting off.
Why would you buy a shower head from a country that doesn't bathe? Don't buy a faucet from a country that's having a drought.
Yeah, that's very funny. that is a guy I like. So then I
would definitely hang out with this guy before Russell Brand.
Absolutely. So he runs into why can I never remember her first name?
Wendy McClendon Covey
of Reno 911 fame.
Yeah,
and
is she a Goldberg? What's her deal?
She's a Goldberg.
Yeah,
she's the Mama Goldberg.
People like that show. I've never seen a second.
I've seen a little bit of it. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
It sounds like a pretty good network sitcom, but at the end of the day, still a network sitcom.
I like Jeff Garlin. Jeff
like,
Garlin's pretty funny.
I do like Jeff Garlin. Some of the cast and crew do not like him. Jeff Garlin.
What a shame.
Might have been a little handsy.
Oh, well.
Yeah. We'll see.
Maybe he learned that from his character on Curb.
Yeah, I mean, his character on Curb is one of the best characters on television.
Absolutely.
Just can't stop cheating on his bitch wife.
Absolutely. So yeah, they run into each other and he they start flirting with each other and he asks her out and then she says, "I had such a big crush on you in high school." And I said, "Am I supposed to believe that these two are the same age or even within 4 years of each other?" Because he looks 65 and she looks 40.
Yeah.
Maybe 45. I'm like, that doesn't add up.
Oh no! I
meant to look at what their actual ages are, but like I know that they're not close.
Yeah,
in age.
One, their characters don't look the same age, and 2, Nick Cage and Wendy McClendon Covey are not the same age.
Nicolas Cage was born in 1964, and Wendy. Nope, that's not how you spell Wendy. Wendy. Nope. And she is... Where'd you go? You were just right there. She was born...
69, closer
yeah, wow.
in age than I thought. She looks great for her age.
She does.
Nick Cage looks his age.
She does, yeah, absolutely. I can't believe that.
Neither can I. So in this,
Well,
she's...
you know what? I delete that note. I delete the note where I question how old they are.
Yeah, so she's 47 in this movie?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, they're still not...
And what did you say Cage was?
62?
62? Okay, so they're 47 and 54. Cool, definitely closer than I thought.
64. 64.
I was thinking like 1964. Oh, even closer.
Yeah.
Well, they're 5 years apart.
Yeah.
Huh.
So they wouldn't have been in high school together unless someone's slow.
Well, someone might be slow. I just said they were 45 and 65. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy that Nick Cage is that young still.
Yeah. He's had a life.
Mind-boggling. Well, then I delete that note. So the next note I wrote was...
Nick Cage isn't 60 yet?
No?
It seems like he should be 75.
I agree. But that's crazy.
We got a lot of Cage left.
We got a lot of Cage left. That's good.
All right. Army of 2?
Army of 3.
Ooh.
Because he's gonna get Osama, and then he's gonna get Saddam Hussein, and then he's gonna get our boy Gaddafi.
Idi Amin.
Idi Amin. Wasn't there? Oh yeah, he makes an Idi Amin reference later. Yeah. So the next note I made was just a Greg Giraldo appearance.
I wrote, "Aw, Giraldo."
Yeah.
Made me sad.
Well, you coked up Colombian. Now you're dead, and you've been dead for a long time. Yeah. He's been dead longer than
I've been alive. He died before I was born. Did you know that?
Oh.
Yeah. 2008.
I was gonna say he died. Like, he's been dead longer than his actual career lasted.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he was a thing for 4 years.
For some of the 2000s.
Yeah, and then he fucking died.
And he's been... I would guess he died around 08, 09?
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, he's, like, watching TV again, and there's just, like, a clip of a Greg Giraldo doing, like, Osama bin Laden stand-up on the TV. 2010. There you go. So, yeah, so he starts to, like, kind of date Wendy McClendon, and then she has a daughter who is non-verbal autistic.
She does not say a word in the movie, right?
No.
Yeah.
But she's, like, in a wheelchair, but I don't think she's autistic, but she's just non-verbal.
She's in a wheelchair. She has a strong chin.
Yep. And
she does not say a word.
Maybe she's inbred. Maybe she's royalty.
Maybe Wendy McClendon Covey sired a child with Jim McClendon Covey and produced this fine specimen.
Maybe.
Also, in terms of spotting actors, Nick Cage, because his character's on dialysis.
Yeah.
And his kidney doctor is Matthew Modine, who's too skinny.
Yeah, but I think he's one of those like mahalo white guys. Like, I think he is go surfing. Like, he eats only seafood.
No, he's not even like he eats only seeds.
He eats seeds or seaweed.
Yeah,
that's it. Like, I think he's one of those guys. I don't think he's too skinny. I think he's just like that, like beach life.
I get. He seems gaunt. I feel like he used to have a little more meat on his. He was never like big or chunky, but he used to be kind of average sized.
Yep.
And now he's like below average.
Nice,
like this and Stranger Things. I'm like, you're a little too skinny.
Yeah.
Are you?
As long as he's healthy and happy.
Yeah. Look, if he's healthy and happy, great. But Matthew Modine, hit me up. Let me know you're okay.
Yeah.
I worry about you.
I worry about you too.
Eat a sandwich.
So yeah, he's convinced that he's going to buy a yacht or a boat.
Yeah.
He's going to sail to Pakistan
from the West Coast,
from San Diego.
Yeah.
And capture him, bring him back.
Yeah.
Then
he has never sailed before and can't swim.
And also, everyone tells him, like, that's fucking insane.
That's a tough one.
That's a real tough get. So he But he works part-time as a construction guy. He doesn't have money, so he's going to trick his dialysis doctor, Matthew Modine, into giving him money.
Because he has before, apparently.
Because he has before, which he didn't pay back, I guess. So he tells him that he wants to buy a boat to sail with Osama bin Laden, and he's kind of like, haha, good gag. He's
but
like,
seriously.
What do you really need it for? And he's like, oh,
I don't know.
That didn't work.
Engagement ring?
Engagement ring? And he's like, yep.
Like, yeah.
Deal, I'll give you the money.
I support this.
So he buys the boat. He goes he goes to leave and gets arrested.
Yeah,
or just gets his boat impounded.
Yeah, because his boat was illegally docked, but then he sailed away before the harbor master went to fetch reinforcements. Yeah. But then he just fucked up sailing, I think, and ended up in Mexico.
Yeah, he ended up in Mexico. He crashed in Mexico and woke up on the beach.
Yeah,
right
near the beach.
Pakistan. And so he goes back.
Why
to
are all
America.
these Pakistanis speaking Mexican?
I don't know. They just they got colonized by the Mexicans. One day, I would like to do a podcast just about Germany trying to get Mexico to invade the USA.
Yeah,
that's a real fun podcast.
I like that.
But yeah, so he ends up back in the United States, back with Wendy, and tells her this is him sort of selling her I know I can get Osama bin Laden. I just have to get to Pakistan and I can do it. And she's okay, I'm gonna be supportive.
Whatever you gotta do, pal.
She's I guess I'm on your side. And so it's just a series of him okay, well now I'm gonna all I have to do is I just have to get into Israel.
Fly to Israel, which at some point someone uttered the phrase Israel rocks. And I responded to it in text, all capitals. Actually, it does not.
Well, it was the gift that he brought back for her.
That was it. Yeah.
He brought her back a little bottle with rocks in it that said Israel rocks.
And I said, I disagree, sir.
I also disagree.
I'm a conscientious objector.
Yeah. Israel commits war crimes.
Every day.
Untested war crimes that no one seems to want to punish them for.
No, it's cool.
And now we don't have a podcast anymore.
Whoops. No, super monetized.
Yeah. So yeah, he says all he has to do is get to Israel, and he can hang glide into Pakistan.
I don't know if you've seen a map. It's still a little ways.
Yeah. Why not go to I don't know anywhere else in the Middle East?
It's 3 kind of big countries between them.
Yeah.
You got to do all of Afghanistan, some more
Iraq,
Middle East,
part of Iraq,
and probably in Iraq or Iran. Let's throw a Turkmenistan in there just for fun.
I wonder what Google Maps will tell me is the best way to get from Israel to Pakistan.
Give me Jerusalem to Abbottabad.
I can't seem to find a way to get you there. Well, probably because you're not allowed to get there. So Israel you'd have to go over part of Jordan, part of almost all of Saudi Arabia.
Bunch of Saudi Arabia, then Afghanistan, or even more in between.
Oh, I guess no. Sorry, if you go this way, Israel.
If you take the fast route,
Jordan, Iraq, Iran, and then into Pakistan.
Yeah.
So, but if you go the other, the southern way, it's all of Saudi Arabia, Oman, and then Pakistan. But that's probably about the same. But yeah, I don't know. You could have gone to Oman. You could have gone to India.
Yeah, basically all of straightest line, all of Jordan, Iraq, Iran.
Yeah,
that's a lot. That's the whole Middle East.
The whole Middle East. So he goes and buys a USA #1 glider, the American flag on it. I thought that scene was kind of funny, where he was trying to explain to him okay, I got to take this all the way to Israel. If I was to cut this up into pieces, how many pieces would I need to cut it up to?
3, 4, 5?
He's well, no, it needs to be one piece to work, sir. He's but I need to cut it up to get it there. So he goes. He's in Lebanon or Jordan. I think it says at the bottom of the screen. I think it says Jordan or Lebanon or something.
When he does the hang gliding?
When he does the hang gliding.
I thought it was Israel.
Maybe it is. But I thought it was somewhere that wasn't Israel.
Maybe it's maybe it's Jordan.
Yeah. So then he sees these two little kids, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go to Pakistan." And he goes, "Hey, you kids Israelis?" And they just are like, "Where are you from? You guys born in Israel?" And they just kind of look at him like he's a crazy person.
Yeah.
And then there's a big gust of wind that knocks him off the mountain, and he breaks his leg.
Yeah.
And then somehow just makes it back to America.
And he broke his leg there, and then even before he started sailing, he had a broken arm, which they attributed to a construction site injury. Yeah. And I'm like, did Nick Cage get all these injuries for real, and they wrote them in?
Or maybe he got workplace injured to get money to go and to pay for things. Mm. That would make sense. Because
although they never address that.
No, they don't. But then he gets back. He's got the broken leg. He's living with Wendy and her daughter again, and he's sort of still very invested in going. He's like, I just need to get my leg healed, and then I can go. It'll be fine. No, I'm going to make it there. I'm going to get him. And she's sort of still vague, she's still supportive, but a little bit less.
But getting a little tired of his shit.
She's just sort of come on, man, come on, let's move on.
Yeah.
So
is it now he actually starts to get kind of complacent, or
because
it leads to a very important scene.
He starts getting really close with the daughter and thinks maybe this is what I want.
Yeah.
A family, a real life, and maybe this is over.
And then he's at the bar and is revisited by his good friend, God Russell Brand. Who then says, hey, remember that fucking mission I gave you? Maybe we could get back on that and stop playing house. And I would like to quote God right now, who says, it really bugs me when men let woman shit get in the way of man business. Oh. In case you're wondering, God said
that.
So, just a heads up.
So yeah, he then kind of has a mental breakdown about it because he wants to go, but she's mad at him that he changed his mind after telling her that. So he goes to the bar and gets drunk with his friends, and there is a lot of this movie when he's doing dialogue, he does talk directly into the camera, he's talking to you.
Yeah.
So there is a point where he's drunk in the bar and he's talking about making the movie of his life, and he's like, "Who would play me? Maybe this guy, maybe this guy." He's like, "I don't know. How about Nick Cage? Don't you think I look a lot like Nick Cage
and Con Air?" I didn't. I didn't care for that. We didn't need the meta bit.
We're already getting a meta Nick Cage movie, which I want to see.
Yeah.
But, jeez Christ. So
that wasn't necessary.
Then, he starts having a big old dream where you get to see a guy playing Osama bin Laden, who's just a total cool bro.
Yep.
Who's broing out and talking about his buddies, Idi Amin, and he's essentially kind of doing a Cribs situation.
Yeah, kind of a Cribs Pimp My Ride situation.
Yeah, an MTV Cribs where he's no, over here, this is where I put all my pictures. This is where my
yeah.
And so he then he just has a total freak out, about how he has to go get him. Now he's taunting him. Mm-hmm. What does he do again? He goes.
He gets
back,
all his papers.
He gets all his papers
and actually flies to Pakistan.
And then he ends up staying in a hostel, with these it's there's a guard because everything's fucked up.
Yep.
And he just stays in the country. He's trying to find anyone that will tell him where
somewhere maybe just talking to the hotel guy and the man with the gun, how Timothy Dalton Best Bond comes up.
That comes up twice, I think. That and then earlier in the movie too. And he doesn't refer to him as Osama bin Laden. He has to refer to him as
the bearded one.
The bearded one. Have you seen the bearded one? Is there a bearded one? You know where the bearded one?
Because there aren't any others of those in Pakistan.
No, just one guy.
Well, he heard that's what the locals call him.
Yeah. But just that,
Yeah.
So he's there, and he spends a long time there. He starts to lose his mind because he's getting nowhere.
And as he's losing his mind, I noticed that he wakes up the same way I do, which is shooting out of bed, brandishing a samurai sword, yelling, "Try it, motherfucker!"
Yep. That's the only way to wake up.
There was a missed opportunity for a joke where he's in like the market bazaar in Pakistan, where because he wants to buy something for the daughter.
Yeah, he wants to buy her like a dress or something.
Yeah, and I thought they were going to do a miscommunication joke. And I wrote it before the scene was over. I wrote, "Tell me when he's asking for a present to buy a girl, they misunderstand and sell him a girl." Yeah. I was very disappointed they didn't do that.
Yeah, I don't think it's that kind of movie, though.
It's
unfortunately.
I was also not a fan of the outdoor dentistry.
Oh, that was weird.
I don't need that in my life.
No.
I can't remember what it was. What was the situation? But just a very funny sentence that was uttered was, "You are genuflecting too aggressively," when someone was like bowing too much.
Yeah.
Or, I can't remember what it was, but very funny.
So like at this point is just like a bunch of Cage like just doing the insane Cage stuff.
Yeah.
Like he's losing his mind. He's just going around like yelling things, looking for things. Like,
he hasn't had his dialysis in weeks.
So he's like hallucinating and he's like losing his mind in his hotel room constantly, like not sleeping properly.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's like getting.
It's real Martin Sheen in Apocalypse Now.
Yes.
Yeah.
But he doesn't cut his hand open and doesn't also have a heart attack.
What a crazy movie.
So he I think that's kind of it, right? Because then he ends up going back home.
Yeah, well, he has this big hallucination, thinks he finds Osama's cave.
Yeah.
They have a saber duel. And he gets him. And then he wakes up in the hospital.
Back on dialysis. There's so there's also like FBI agents or CIA
some
agents
kind of CIA
who are like in an office in Pakistan that just sort of hear about like some weird white guy doing weird stuff, played by Dennis O'Hare, noted gay man Dennis O'Hare, and Dwight from The Office.
Yep.
And they're the ones that find him and he wakes up in the office in the hospital, and he's trying to explain to them what's going on, and they send him home. And when he's back home living with Wendy again, because she's a stupid woman, and why would she kick him out?
Wendy has battered woman syndrome without the battering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also she thought he was really cute in high school.
Yeah.
When they were in high school together.
And he thought she was cute because he told her he jerked off to her.
Yep. Fair.
Girls, is that flattering? Do you like that when we tell you that? Because I've jerked off to you, but I haven't told you I have. But if you'd like me to tell you, if you find it flattering, I'll happily tell you that I've jerked off to
you. Double for me? I don't know if I have the same stance.
Drew, I've jerked off to you.
Good.
Thank you.
So yeah, he goes home and he's like recovering and he's back on dialysis sort of, and then the story kind of gets out about him going to look for Osama bin Laden.
Yeah.
And he kind of becomes like a very minor like local celebrity.
Yeah.
There's kind of a funny part where they reveal that the money he had to go was from Matthew Modine, who sees it with his nurses, and the nurses are kind of like...
And they're like, "Where'd you get the money?" "Oh, I tricked my kidney doctor into giving it to me."
So now he's like back at home and he's recovering, and he like gives her the daughter the dress, and like things are kind of going really good. And then he sees the announcement by Barack Obama.
I would have preferred the announcement by The Rock.
The Rock Obama.
We have compromised to a permanent end. Osama bin Laden.
And then sort of like there's like a weird moment of calm.
Yeah.
And then just a complete breakdown.
Burst into tears.
That he did. Like, I need to get him. It's me. I have to go. They didn't get him.
Yeah.
I'm the guy that's going to get him. I have to go back. And then he goes back and just wanders forever.
I think so, yeah.
And just just wanders the streets and nothing happens. And then that's sort of the end of the movie. And then we get to see the real
It shows
guy
some footage of the real guy.
on like The View and stuff.
Yep.
Who doesn't have the accent.
Not really. Not as much as Nick.
No.
Nick is going for it.
I couldn't believe he kept it up the whole time.
There's no way he'll be able to.
Oh, and he did.
And yeah, and then they tell you at the end that with the money from that he was paid for this movie, dude is back in Pakistan looking for Bin Laden.
Well, I guess that's what you got to do.
Respect.
You gotta sell your rights to a movie,
Yep.
so that you can get
So you can
more
finance your
money
craziness.
to go do your crazy shit.
I like that. I got crazy shit I need to finance. Yeah. So do you.
Me too.
It's similar stuff.
Show tail and walking around tail.
Yep. There's a conversation between Nick and Wendy right near the end, which was legitimately funny and like intentionally funny. Wendy says, "Do you want to know what I'm afraid of?" And Nick goes, "Bats." And she goes, "No." And he's like, "That's all I got."
Yeah.
But yeah, fun movie. I liked it.
Yeah, it was crazy enough, but like not over the top Nick Cage like insanity.
Yeah, but definitely still falls in the Crazy Cage category.
Yes, yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, but it's no Color Out of Space or Mandy or Willy's Wonderland or
Vampire's Kiss.
Vampire's Kiss. I haven't seen Jiu-Jitsu, but I assume it's also insane.
Yeah, there's Crazier Cage for sure. Which takes us to Extro. Like Extra.
1982.
But with an O from 1982. From,
okay, here's the reveal. He's an extraterrestrial.
Get the fuck. I waited like 4.5 hours for that.
E.T. the extraterrestrial.
Jesus Christ. Get out of here.
Well, it's cool. X means extreme, so he's an extreme terrestrial.
I would love to be an extreme terrestrial. This is from Connor/Condex, whose other pick is Purgatory House, which we can't find for free. You told me something about using the Opera browser for YouTube, but please clarify on how we can watch this movie
I'm
for
an
free.
old man and I need help.
An old man. So yeah, get at me or barring. And I do want to see it because it is a movie written and directed by a 14-year-old. So it does sound very fun, but we need it for free.
Yeah.
So there.
So, or if you, the listening audience, can find it and download the torrent and send it to us.
Yeah.
But there isn't a torrent.
I could not find a torrent.
Yeah, I looked. I couldn't find anything.
Yeah. So if someone's got the hookup on 2004 Purgatory House, get at us.
Yep. Extraterrestrial.
Extraterrestrial.
Backwards legs. That was the first note I made.
It's a hot start.
It's got the backwards legs. I like it.
We have a very hot start. We start fast and first, and then there's I guess it's the first scene. I just wrote abrupt cut, all capitals. So I like. Yeah. So where do we start? Do we start with the flashback to father getting beamed up in the first place?
Yes. Well, yeah, that's the start. Yeah, that's the start.
Yeah. So kid basically sees his dad get abducted by aliens, and the kid is having like recurring nightmares about it and stuff, and everyone tells him he's crazy because as far as everyone else is concerned, the father just left the family.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I'm just looking at it. I wrote 2 notes that I don't actually know what the context of it is.
Let me see what I can do.
So I'm just going to say them out loud.
Okay.
Not right now. Like just over the course of my notes.
Yeah, I don't have a ton on the beginning. How early is it when I wrote, "Ooh, there's a stranger outside. Better dim my lights to scary red."
That's a little bit in. That's a little bit in, but not super far in. The first thing I wrote is, a couple of pretty good-looking 80s Brit women. I wrote the nanny and the lady with the dog who gets pregnant, but then realized the nanny was French.
Yeah.
So it's one for...
And the lady doesn't get pregnant from the dog. So
I wish.
So more points off. French nanny wasn't bad, though.
Not bad at all.
Yeah.
And the other lady, we got to see her... Yeah, we got to see both their boobies.
Yeah.
Big old boobies. Not really that big, but just, it's good to look. Who doesn't like a free set of boobs?
So, do we get the beam down back to Earth? Or is there stuff I'm missing?
There's... Oh, boy. I'm Barack Obama. I'm gay. I'm honestly kind of blanking on it right now. I have notes, but the notes don't help me with
Weekly Drew Noises corner.
They don't help with notes of the actual plot.
But yeah, I think basically it's quite a way to come back to Earth. Beam down as a seed, grow into a little monster, rape a woman's mouth, and then she gives birth to you fully formed as an adult.
Yeah. 3 years later, the light returns and plants a seed. A half-human, half-alien creature develops from the seed and is hit by a car. The couple in the car
kills
are
the
soon
people
killed.
in the car.
The creature then goes to a cottage nearby where it attacks and impregnates the young woman, living there before dissolving.
Aliens love impregnating people's mouths.
Well, it's, where else are you going to put it?
I've never found anywhere else.
Yeah, it's all mouse stuff. Then the young... when she awakens, her belly rapidly grows to a gargantuan size.
Gargantuan.
Until she gives birth to a fully formed Sam, killing her.
Yeah.
Sam washes himself, steals the driver's clothes, and leaves in the car.
Yeah.
The only notes that I wrote were, mouth tentacle rape.
Yep.
And then I wrote, so when she gets pregnant, I wrote, her gut starts making the noises my tum-tum makes after a large popcorn chicken from KFC.
Maybe you're pregnant with a fully grown man.
Maybe. I hope it comes out my butt and not my penis.
That would be I suppose, the preferable of the two.
Yeah. So when he's back, he sees...
I think before he's back, is the kid Tony has had some dreams of him, and then one night he, as I described it, Tony got his first period. He wakes up,
yes,
covered in blood,
yeah,
but with no wounds.
Are you sure that Tony wasn't in happiness?
There might have been blood in his BM.
Was there a crossover event?
Could have been.
This is a real Chicago Fire, Chicago PD situation between Extro and Happiness.
It's Med, Fire, PD.
Whatever.
In that order.
I don't care.
Hospital, fire station, policeman.
Oh. All right.
So he wakes up just in a pool of blood. Mother's like, that probably shouldn't happen. Calls the doctor. Doctor comes in and is like, well,
Doctor says no more monkeys jumping on the bed.
No more monkeys jumping on the bed. He is covered in blood. He does not seem injured, so I guess it's fine.
Yeah, just blood.
Never mentioned again.
Little blood never hurt nobody.
But yeah, the implication is only the son has some bit of a psychic connection with the father, or at least more than anyone else.
Yeah.
But yeah, then Dad's back.
Yeah,
Dad's back and he's pissed.
So Dad's back and he makes a phone call to the house to try and get Tony. And I just wrote phone call. He speaks about as eloquently as I do at hour 5 of this fucking podcast.
Well, you know what? Well timed.
Because he can't form words. His alien brain can't put words together.
Yeah, but he gets it together.
Eventually. Did you know that apparently her new boyfriend is Canadian American? What? What?
Yeah, that's right. Her new squeeze. We see
so the dad goes and picks the kid up from school.
Yes, without telling
her, and
the
then
wife.
she's like surprised that he's like even there because
he's been
just
gone for
disappeared.
3
He's been
years.
gone for 3 years. But then he claims that he can't remember anything that happened.
Yeah, he's like, I just remember waking up here. I don't know.
I woke up here and that's it. Like, I don't remember anything else.
Yeah, so I know you are fucking a new man. But maybe I should also live here because I'm your husband?
Yep.
I mean, it's not a bad
I shouldn't be
argument.
fucking this guy if I'm married to you.
Yeah.
He then decides, and then is it the boyfriend or the dad? I don't remember which one. What did I write? Oh, I wrote stepdad, so it was obviously the boyfriend.
Yeah.
Where I said, a good test to find out if your stepkid is autistic. Invite him to go see planes. And if he turns down planes, he's probably not autistic. Because he said, I'm going to go check out the new air show thing, whatever.
Yeah.
You want to come with me? And he goes, no, not really.
Nah.
I'm good.
You passed the test,
Good.
boy.
I'm not raising a retard.
I think the stepdad also at one point says about himself, look British, think Yiddish.
Yep.
No, thank you.
I'm okay.
I
don't need either of those things.
I
British
feel about that the
people are
same as I
ugly
feel about
and,
Israel
the other part.
rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a couple hard disagrees with these two.
Yeah.
I think at one point the French nanny or whatever fucks her boyfriend, and we get some nice early '80s Bush.
Oh yeah, I wrote no Merkin. I wrote no Merkin.
Yep.
That's. Then I just put I popped really hard when they find the car. There you go. They find the car with the dead woman.
Yep.
The guy who finds the dead body
Is Spencer Tracy.
is an extra or a featured extra
Ooh.
in Mr. Bean.
Oh, wow.
Have you seen all Mr. Bean?
I believe I have. It's been a while, but I've
The
seen
one
it.
where he has the New Year's Eve party with the two guys from work, and then they turn the clock forward to leave.
Yep.
It's one of those two guys.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I popped really hard. I was like,
like a
holy
fun
shit.
fact.
I've never seen him in anything that's not Mr. Bean.
Those are his big two. Extro and Mr. Bean.
But yeah, no Merkin.
So the father and son spend some quality time together,
Yeah.
where I don't care for the scene where he puts the poison in the son by sucking on his shoulder.
I wrote these 3 words, Scott. I wrote kid, sucking, scene.
I wrote
Take that as you will.
do not like the child shoulder sucking.
Real weird.
Wasn't
I
into
think
it.
There was probably a different way to do that, but it was the 80s and the UK, so you do what you want.
This grants the son the power of telekinesis as long as it's scary telekinesis.
Yeah.
He can only do the scary kind.
Well,
So first he just makes like a toy spin by itself,
which freaks him out.
which freaks him out. But then he, I don't know, gets more of a hold of it, and makes his toys come
to life. There's like a weird midget clown.
We got a clown,
murder clown.
Yep.
Then there was a giant mechanical toy soldier that murders the lady down the stairs.
Yep. I definitely wrote, because we'd seen her a couple times and she's annoying. I was like, I can't wait for this old bitch to die in some hilarious way. And I was not disappointed. The kid has a pet snake because the kid's a weirdo, and everyone who has pet reptiles is a weirdo.
But he doesn't like planes, so he's fine.
But he doesn't. I didn't say he's autistic. I said he's a weirdo. Yep. And at one point, the snake gets loose and ends up falling through like a light fixture down a floor into her apartment, where it lands in her salad. That freaks her out, and then she is murdered by a live, like human-sized toy soldier.
Yeah, which is pretty good because she hides from it under the couch.
Yeah.
And it stabs with its bayonet
through the couch
and
then
kills her.
Blood comes everywhere.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah. My back-to-back notes are I can't wait for this bitch to die in some hilarious way, and then next note, success! Exclamation mark.
Yeah.
Then we get a panther in the mix.
I wrote a fucking Black Panther.
Yep.
Not that kind of Black Panther, the real Black Panther.
The cool kind.
The cool kind. Well, I guess they're both kind of the cool kind.
Sure. Unless they're a Judas type and not the Black Messiah.
That is true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Unless they're a Stanfield, not a Kaluuya.
I like both, though.
But one's a Judas.
I know.
And what's the first syllable in Judas?
Ooh. Yikes.
Makes you think.
Look, it's a circle. What's the word for circle? Anyways. A panther appears and attacks the stepdad? Stepdad dies by panther?
Does stepdad... Because stepdad makes it to the farmhouse.
Oh, yeah, right.
I think must be French Nanny.
French Nanny.
Yeah.
What a shame.
I mean, there's worse ways to die than a big
No,
kitty.
because doesn't the French Nanny get turned into the cocoon?
Oh, she does.
Oh, God damn it. Yeah.
She does.
She gets turned into the cocoon, egg cocoon.
Weird eggs come out of her, and then they place those eggs into green jelly in a knocked over fridge.
Magic fridge.
Yeah.
To make them open.
So who's the kitty kill? Or does the kitty not kill anyone?
Maybe the kitty doesn't kill anyone.
Just hangs out.
Maybe he's napping on a bed.
Maybe he kills her boyfriend?
That's what I said.
I thought you meant the stepdad.
No, I said sorry. I said the stepdad.
No,
yeah,
I think that is
French
right.
Boyfriend.
Yes,
maybe,
sorry.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Maybe. Here's the one note that I made that I'm sure I don't remember what it is.
What could this be about?
Maybe it was another. I don't know. I just wrote another day, another 80s rape scene.
Oh yeah, yeah. You're gonna get those.
You're gonna get them. You're gonna like the way you look. I guarantee.
So the dad takes the son to their sort of like rural house where
Property.
the father disappeared in the first place.
Yeah.
And then mother gets word of this, and she and I guess separately, she and her boyfriend both go there, and then it's just like a Benny Hill chase scene for for a minute.
Gets killed by Michael. Whoever the fuck Michael is gets killed by the panther.
That's the French boyfriend.
Meanwhile, so that's the rape scene. So the rape scene is when she's asleep, and the dad like sneaks into the bedroom and sort of like forces himself on her, but she kind of thinks it's the boyfriend.
Yeah.
And then I wrote, considering there are some very good practical effects in the movie.
Yeah.
The decaying body stuff looked terrible.
Some of it did, yeah.
Like the back wound and the face wound.
Oh, that looked bad.
Super shitty.
Yeah, that looked bad.
Yeah. Then let's see what we got here. So Sam turns into an alien.
Yeah, I was trying to think if there was anything.
No, I don't
before that.
think so.
So yeah, he aliens up. He screams
loud
at the
boyfriend,
stepdad, and makes his eardrums explode and die.
His brain melts.
Yeah. And then he goes full alien. Son is part alien.
Yep.
At this point, mother happens upon them in the moonlight, and father and son get beam on back up to
beam me up
mothership, and mom
goes back to the apartment.
Mom has a weird story to tell, and she goes back to the apartment, and then depending on what ending you see, the apartment is just like a glowing white at this point. She walks past the panther who tips his hat to her. Madam, because cats are polite. And she goes to the fridge egg room, and she picks up one of the pulsating egg things. It does a big old and thing pops out and rapes her mouth. And that's the end. And so that was the new ending that they filmed. Yeah. Because the original ending they filmed, she goes back and all the eggs have hatched. Yeah. And they are clones of her son. Yeah. Which look terrible because it's a bunch of very different boys in white masks. which I don't like. They're not supposed to look like masks, but they look like masks.
Yeah.
And the producer, our executive producer, says, this looks bad. We can't do this.
Yeah.
So they refilmed a second mouth rape. But the original intention was for it to be a bunch of boys, and if they could have made it look better,
Bunch of boys.
it would be that. So. Let us know. Give us a call at 591-ROCK, 591-ROLL, and let us know if you stand on egg ending or boy ending.
I'm a boy man myself.
That's what I've always told people. So,
I just want to say one really mean thing before we get to the final movie. Noted former friend of the show, I guess, one Alan Greasy, just posted a promo video for his match on Friday, and he is conservatively 400 pounds. Anyways, moving on to the final. Thank Christ.
We started last week.
What did I say? 2:45 p.m. was when we started. It is currently 8:17 p.m.
And we had a little break in between.
Break.
This is going to be considerably shorter than last week. We're getting very good at this. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I think we're awful at everything.
It'd be cool.
I think
if
after this
still
podcast, we should kill ourselves.
I would
murder Suey, but both of us kill ourselves.
I would feel bad for the last group of movie people, but yes, I support this. I am on board. I will go back on what I said earlier in the podcast about probably not going to kill myself, and I will kill myself.
But luckily, we left maybe the best one for last.
It's a good one.
I wasn't sure what I was getting myself into. And then I really liked what I got myself into.
Yeah, I remember seeing this movie box, the box art for it, at Rogers Video.
Local jokes getting local work.
Absolutely. On the 39th Avenue and West Boulevard.
Local jokes getting local work.
How more specific can I get? And I was being like, that's a thing I could rent, and then just never got around to it. And then didn't for another 20-something years. But I'm glad
You rented this?
It was on the docket to rent.
No, I meant for this.
Oh yeah, I went to Blockbuster.
Sick.
Yeah. Rogers closed.
How are they doing?
I mean, they probably should have bought Netflix.
Yeah, God.
For $10 million.
God. Can't even imagine life would be like if that had actually happened.
And not listen to CEO Jim Blockbuster saying, nah, people like to go into a movie store. Shit's a fad.
If there's one thing people like, it's getting up, getting dressed, leaving their house, driving 10 minutes away.
If there's one thing Americans love,
2 hours wandering around looking at everything.
If there's one thing Americans love, it's not being lazy.
Correct.
It's doing the more labor-intensive thing of two options. So it was a good job, Jim Blockbuster.
Good job, Jim. You blew it. You blew it.
But that is a different world, though.
So I don't think I ever really knew this movie existed.
I knew it existed, and I knew there was some weird shit in it, but didn't really know what. Because I've heard allusions to it before.
Yes. So
possibly from Guns N' Roses in "Use Your Illusion."
I immediately, at the very beginning, it was giving me movie 43 vibes, but good.
Yeah, no, I get you.
A series of things that are just ridiculously obscene.
Yeah.
But no balls on your neck and talking about shit.
Less of that.
Yeah. So we start off with John Lovitz being a heterosexual
straight for the second movie. Crazy.
Very crazy.
I like this.
He's out on a date with one of the main characters, whose name was
has some J's in it.
Jamba
Jamba Juice.
Jujuga. Jim Jam Jimmy
Zendaya.
Jamalu, where he kind of is like, hey, I'd like to take this to the next step, baby. Let's do this. And she goes, yeah, I've seen your face. I'm not interested.
Yeah, I'm probably.
And then he
probably
kind of
not
has
going to.
like a little bit of a meltdown about
A little bit of a restaurant meltdown.
So they go separate ways, and then we don't see John Lovitz again until towards the end.
Yeah, but I liked the scene because he's like after she breaks up with him at the restaurant, he's like, well, like I got you this like cool expensive like antique ashtray thing that you're into. So yeah, I got it. And she's like, oh my God, this is like such an incredibly thoughtful thing. And he's like, yeah, and you can't have it, bitch, because dudes rock.
I'm going to give it to somebody who wants me.
Yeah. It was great.
It was very good.
It was a legit like good performance by Lovitz.
Yep. So then the next thing we get to see is a strawberry blonde, chubby, pathetic guy shows up. Scott, I didn't know you were in this. Is that hurtful enough? I mean, you are Philip Seymour Hoffman.
I am Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Except for you haven't gotten up the courage to kill yourself.
To die of a heroin overdose. Yeah. But it's coming.
It's coming. I'd be
good.
sad if it didn't. So he's sort of playing like a pathetic loser guy who's like...
I found him unrelatable.
Very horny for his like downstairs neighbor.
Yeah, but also kind of any women.
Well, not any women.
Not any women.
Yeah, I mean, he's
almost every woman.
He's very much like a sexual deviant. Like he's...
Yeah, and he makes like obscene phone calls.
He makes obscene phone calls to women while touching himself.
Yeah.
And then, like, finishes. And then...
and while he's in therapy with his therapist, Dylan Baker... again, another weird second. So we've already had John Lovitz playing a straight twice, which is insane.
Yep.
The second mention of raping a woman to the point of your dick / cum coming out her mouth.
Well, cuties in this.
Cuties and happiness. Couple of nice picks.
And you know what? Kind of in the same...
Two of our favorite pedophile movies.
Kind of in the same vein, yeah. So yeah, he's like obsessed with a woman who lives downstairs. He like is constantly talking about how much he wants to just like do everything you could ever think of to her.
He used the word pump a lot.
There was a lot of pumping.
I didn't like it.
Pumpers like to pump.
Pumpers. I'm a tumbler.
Personally.
Yeah.
Tumblr's better than pumpers.
Yeah.
If
you disagree, give us a call.
Yeah. So
eggs are boys, tumblers are pumpers.
So yeah, he's very much obsessed with her, and he talks about how much he wants to do bad things to her. And then I think that's it for his opening scene.
Yeah.
Then the next scene is then we see his therapist, Dylan Baker, going on his way home from the office, and he stops at the corner store. And he's like just kind of walks by and sees.
And also, this is how you know this movie's in 1998. Multiple wrestling magazines.
Yes.
In the magazine section.
Yes. Not just one, and also not in every store.
You've got WWF magazine. You've got Raw magazine. That's right. They had two. Oh. You've got Pro Wrestling Illustrated. You've got and then three Wrestling Weekly and a bunch. Yeah, but I'm like, wow, this is 1998.
Yep. Back when it was a thing that people gave a shit about.
When everyone watched wrestling instead of just weird nerds like it is now.
Fags like us. Mm-hmm. So he's perusing the magazines as he's going through, and he takes a little peek at a kids tween teen magazine with some cute Jonathan Taylor Thomas type boys on it.
Magazine was Cool with a K.
Cool with a K. And then we see him
purchases it.
We see him walking out, and he decides he's going to get in the back of his car, and does nothing bad.
I don't know about that part.
He gives a new meaning to the term tiger beat.
This is a tiger beat I can relate to.
And I wrote tiger beat and then in brackets off.
Yeah.
This is a real tiger beat
respect.
Off. So now I'm going to tell you what I didn't like about this scene.
Nothing.
Huh?
I hope the answer is nothing.
So I know that it's obviously not a real jerk off, and that it is just implied.
Okay, maybe this could be the same thing I had. Go on.
I was uncomfortable with a child actor in the background getting into a car.
Yeah.
But like obviously he's not in the car jerking off, but the implication made me really uncomfortable.
Yeah, I wrote, who among us hasn't jerked off to Cool with a K magazine in the back seat of their car in broad daylight? Look, I've jerked off in my car in the Metrotown parking lot, but that's underground. And I go to the far corner. I'm not bothering anyone.
I don't want anybody to see.
What am I going to do? Work? I have to jerk off in the Metrotown parking lot.
I could have given everybody a free show.
Hey, I'm doing a service. I used to do it in like the shared bathroom. And not an individual bath, like a four stall bathroom.
Yeah.
So like other people are walking in. And so look, I'm in the car. No one else is in the car. I'm not hurting anyone. I'm carbon. They're carbon. I can jerk off to dog porn in the Metrotown parking lot if I want to.
Yeah.
What's the problem?
What's the problem?
Yeah.
So he finishes, and
he does finish.
then he goes home, and
the cum talk continues.
And it is so goddamn gross.
So
he's got a son who's like 10, maybe 12.
10, 11. Actually, they might have said 12.
Did I say 12?
Yeah.
So he's like, comes home, says hello to his wife, and he's sort of just like going about his post-work evening. Mm-hmm. And his son approaches him, and he goes, "Dad, what does cum mean?" And he goes, "Huh. Well, where did you hear that from?" And he goes, "Well, all the boys at school have told me that they've come.
They've done it.
And I haven't come yet."
Yeah.
So what has come? And like, you've seen...
And you remember having the cum talk with your dad?
No, I didn't have a cum talk with that. But you've seen other movies and shows where like the parent is awkward about it, and they're sort of like, well, when two people love each other and they...
Dylan
takes a different route.
Dylan's pretty upfront. Dylan looks you right in the eye when he shakes your hand,
and he straight up tells him, "Well, your penis gets erect, and then you jerk your penis, and then a white fluidy sticky substance comes out the end,
and that's cum.
And then there's like a pause, and then he asks his son, Billy, have you ever come?
And the kid's like, yeah,
all the time, constantly.
I'm coming right now.
I'm coming right now."
Have you? It's okay if you haven't. And then eventually the son admits he has not come. Yeah. He's like, "Well, have you jerked off?" He's like, "Sort of.
I've tried.
Leave me alone."
Let me do it. So then there's that first awkward thing that happens.
Yep. Cut to Philip Seymour Hoffman jerking off.
There was one thing that I wrote before that. So it like the wife then gets a phone call from her mom.
Yeah.
And the mom says, like, "Oh, like your father's leaving me." And she's like, "What?" Like, "Yeah, your dad decided he doesn't want to be with me anymore, so he's leaving and he's divorcing me." And then he goes, "Well, let me talk to dad." So she goes to talk to dad. I'm like, "Are you divorcing mom?" He goes, "What the fuck are you telling me? Jesus Christ. Like, did I say fucking divorce? So like they hang up the phone, they get into an argument, and then it's like he's like, "I'm leaving you because I just want to be alone." Yeah. And I was like, man, that's the reason why I don't want to get married in the first place. I want to be alone.
Yeah.
I like my freedom.
Yeah. And I love the way he handled it, because like she's like, it's another woman. You've met someone else. He's like, no. I love no one.
I love no one. I want to be alone.
I loved that.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I've got my guy in the movie, but I also have Philip Seymour Hoffman, and I also have Dylan Baker. Yeah. So I've got a lot of guys in this movie.
You got a lot of horses in this race.
I do.
So then we get PSH's Vinegar Strokes.
Yep.
And a full-on blast of the wall.
Yep. Just wrecks that wall.
Disgusting.
Yep. Nice stuff. But you know what? Called back later. Very important part of the movie.
Yes.
Yeah. The end.
Yeah. So the next note I wrote, I don't remember the context.
I guess I should say what I actually wrote for that one. Attaboy, PSH. Big comes.
Big comes.
He's got them rat balls.
Ugh.
No?
And a rat penis, tiny.
I'm gonna...
Like you got a tiny penis and big balls, is that what you're saying? Because you're Philip Seymour Hoffman?
Regular penis.
Okay.
And big balls.
And micro balls. Marbles.
I have a regular penis that looks huge compared to my balls.
Yeah. The next note I wrote was just, what were they? I don't remember the context of it. Where it's like somebody said, was he kind of Latino looking with acne scars?
Oh, they were all talking about Edward James Olmos, but couldn't mention Edward James Olmos. But
right.
But they were saying someone looked like someone.
Yeah, I don't remember the context. I just wrote the note.
Yeah, and like the person they were describing. Oh, John Lovitz.
Oh, yeah.
Because she was saying to her coworkers.
Yeah, like, the guy that used to work in the corner over there, and then we went on the date, and they're like, somebody used to work in the corner?
Did he kill himself?
Not yet.
No, but he's just not there. Oh, she went on a date with him.
Yeah, and so she's explaining who she went on the date with.
Yeah, and everyone's
like trying to say, like, oh,
him?
like, he used to work over in the corner, like, next to that, and they're like, does somebody work over there? Like, do you remember somebody over there? And they're like, one of the girls just says, like, was he, like, kind of Latino looking with acne scars?
Yeah, and then they're like in that movie where he's a teacher. I'm like, Edward James Olmos.
What a weird reference.
Very weird. Also, it doesn't really look like John Lovitz.
No, not at all.
Yeah,
not at all.
but I guess that was the joke. They were just like terribly describing John Lovitz.
So here's the one that I said that I'm like, I don't know if Scott's gonna hook up on this one with me. So it turns out that the woman that Philip Seymour Hoffman is obsessed with is Laura Flynn Boyle. And I just wrote, Laura Flynn Boyle is so hot.
I like Laura. No fight on that. Right,
good.
No, you're safe.
I'm glad we're on the same page.
Yeah. I feel like young Andrea Martin. I'll fight you. That's a homely woman, start to finish.
Yeah.
1974 to present. But no, Laura Flynn Boyle is great. I like her.
So he is trying to find her phone number so he can call her to jerk off to her.
Yep.
And ends up getting her phone number, calls her, and then panics.
Yep.
And then we kind of get the reveal that Laura Flynn Boyle and the woman who went on the date with John Lovitz
are sisters,
and Dylan Baker's wife
are all sisters.
Yeah. And the couple the older couple that the dad is leaving are their parents.
Yeah. So now we're connected.
So now we're all connected. So then, the girl who went on the date with John Lovitz is an adult ESL teacher.
Yeah.
And the teachers are all on strike.
Yeah, it's like the learning annex or whatever. And they're on strike, but she's a scab.
Yeah, so she's a scab. And I loved the fact that she showed up to class to teach all of them, and then all of the foreigners turned on her,
scab at her,
and called her a scab.
Very funny.
Even though they're the ones paying to learn English.
Yeah, hey, they're very pro-union.
Very pro-union, very pro-America.
Yep.
So, yeah, I love that they were calling her a scab. Then, I don't know, the next thing I wrote is just Dylan Baker is the perfect pedo.
He's great. No, we'll get to that part in a sec. What did I have? So at the learning annex, she meets Jared Harris, who loves playing a Russian.
Or like a Serbian or whatever the fuck he was.
Yeah, Jared Harris does Eastern Europe.
Even though he's like Irish,
British, something.
Yeah.
But he likes what he likes.
Yep.
And and they have a fun little storyline where they go on like an impromptu date, and then they fuck, and then the next day his presumed wife comes in and to class and beats the shit out of her.
Yeah.
And then she goes back to their place to apologize. It's not his wife, it's just some bitch who's jealous.
Yeah.
And so then they go out again, and he asks to borrow money. What did I write? I'm like, hey, we fucked once. Can I borrow $1,000? She gives him $500. Good compromise.
Yeah.
And
meet you in the middle.
And says, you'll never pay me back. It's fine. Goodbye forever.
Yeah.
And that was kind of that storyline.
Yep, that was pretty good.
So Dylan Baker's kid has a friend the friends...
They play on a baseball team together.
They play on the baseball team together.
And the other kid's dad is the baseball coach.
Yeah, and the other kid's dad is also not even worried. He just knows his son is gay.
I believe the guy's exact words are, "My son's a fag, I know it."
And then his thought was, what if I got my gay 11-year-old son a hooker?
Yeah, I wrote, I like
him?
a dad who's willing to let his 13-year-old son fuck a hooker.
Yeah.
Like, he can't be gay, but I will let him get molested by a hooker.
Yeah, I will let him get statutory raped
by a hooker instead of being gay.
Can't remember the specific instance for this, but I wrote a lot of. There's probably the Jared Harris woman. I do remember her name. Lara Flynn Boyle's uglier sister.
Yeah.
A lot of women bursting into tears in this movie. I like it.
P.S. Did not expect to see her boobs.
No.
But I was fine with it. Like, they were
here
bad,
we are.
But
the Lara Flynn, the hot sister, is like some sort of author slash bitch. Very she, like, every sentence she says is a humble brag. Like, that's her vibe.
Yes.
And one thing I liked, she was talking about her writing, and like, she was like criticizing her own writing, and she's like, if only I'd been raped as a child, then I'd know authenticity.
yeah.
And speaking of raped as a child, Dylan Baker's son's friend comes over for a sleepover.
Yeah.
Dylan Baker makes big old chocolate fudge sundaes with, I don't know, horse tranquilizer in them.
Second movie that we've seen involving John Lovitz where there are tranquilizers in ice cream. Well, I think the other ones are milkshakes.
Milkshakes. They're milkshakes.
But still, ice cream.
That is something. Tranquilizers in ice cream.
Weird.
Gives it to his kid, knocks the kid out cold. Unfortunately, wiener friend.
Well, the whole point of the idea is to knock out everyone.
Yeah.
So he can do as he pleases with the friend.
Get to business.
Get to fourth base,
as it were. And he's like, "Oh, you don't want hot fudge?" He's like, "No, I don't care for hot fudge because I'm fancy." He's like, "Can I get you something?" And his wife's like, "It's fucking late. He doesn't need food." And then weirdo kid is like, "I can go for a tuna sandwich."
Yeah, I'll take a tuna.
And then he makes the kid a drugged tuna sandwich, and then the kid's like, "Actually, it's midnight.
Yeah,
maybe I won't eat a tuna sandwich."
And he's like, but he's like in panic mode because this is his one opportunity.
Yeah.
So he's like, well, I mean, it's probably not going to be very good tomorrow. Like, you probably want to eat it today because it's going to be bad.
Some tuna.
So he takes a couple bites, and then fast forward to the next morning.
Fast forward to the next morning where the kid is not feeling great at breakfast. Has a little puke on the breakfast table. Asked to be driven home because he's not feeling well. Is driven home. It continues not great. He finds some, in his words, blood in his BM.
Blood in his BM.
And they take him to the hospital to check him out, and then they're asking the boys some probing questions. Did anyone hurt you? Did anyone touch you? And the kid's like, no, I don't think so. And then his dad sort of breaks the ice whether you were fucking raped.
Yeah, it doesn't really hide it.
Yeah. So, I believe right there was what prompted my oh dear, all caps. And then my very next note is, oh dear, again, all caps. Because Dylan Baker gets word from his son that another friend, his parents are out of town for a few days. Yeah. And he doesn't need a babysitter because the son was like, hey, the son, noted weirdo, the son is like, if you guys died, would I be like, oh no, or just if his dad, if you guys died, would I be in charge here?
Would I be the guy?
Yeah, and he's like, well, no, you're like 11.
Your aunts would help you.
Yeah, you maybe when you're 13, and he's like, well, my friend is out, is at home with his parents out, and he's okay. And Dylan's like, oh really? And he's like, oh, I got a late work thing, gotta go by, and just rapes the other kid.
Yeah, he sure does. He's a serial rapist.
But not before, which, if I had to pick a favorite part of the movie, this one, as he's en route to his second child rape in as many days,
Yep.
he passes a "Watch for Children" sign.
Watch for children.
I was like, okay, movie, you're okay. You're
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
you're okay with me, movie.
The only thing I think we glossed over was at one point when the son asked him like about penis size, and then he was like, "Well, haven't you ever measured it?" And he goes, "No." He's like, "Do you want me to measure it?" And he's like, "No, I'm okay." He's like, "Okay."
And yeah, I guess the other thing we've missed is Philip Seymour Hoffman and Cameron Manheim Steamroller.
Steamroller. So she lives in his building.
She also lives in his building.
She's into him.
She's into him.
She's feeling him.
She is the only woman he is not into.
Yes.
They first meet, or at least have a substantial conversation, by her telling him that the doorman was murdered and his penis was ripped off. Yeah. And Philip's like, okay, well, I have to go make a couple jerk-off calls, so unless there's anything else, we'll talk to you later, I guess. And then they have a few more interactions, and it comes out that she murdered the doorman after a romantic tryst gone wrong.
Yeah.
And right before the tryst, I did make a note that because it happened with him helping her with her groceries up to her apartment, which I believe were exclusively ice cream.
Yeah, I think it was a good amount of ice cream.
And then
she exclusively shops at the Ben and Jerry's grocery.
Yeah, and she offered him money, a tip or whatever, and he's like, no, but I would love a bit of ice cream. So, and what I didn't like is when she's scooping him the ice cream, like, I know it's easy scooping for the movie, but that ice cream is too soft.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Come on. Yeah, I'm like, I don't want that ice cream.
It was milky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't like it. That's the only thing
Creamy,
I didn't like.
Soft serve.
Only thing I didn't like in
like
this
when
movie.
I eat KFC.
So yeah, but then he gets aggressive and she snaps his neck.
It's crazy.
And she's and that dude, her and Philip end up together, like they.
Yeah, he prank calls Laura Flynn Boyle. Yeah, and she's like weirdly into it.
Yeah.
And then she's like, well, why don't you come down and do what you want to do?
Yeah.
And he goes, oh, boy. So he goes, yeah, I guess. So he, like, goes down. Sits on the couch with her.
Yeah.
She, like, puts her hand on his lap. And he's just sort of like, okay, well, no, I'm not into this because you want it. I'm not into this, yeah. Like, I was only into it when you didn't want it. So then he goes upstairs to her apartment, Cameron Manheim Steamrollers, and just knocks on the door, goes in, gets in bed with her, and then that's all we see.
Yeah, they just lie in bed together.
Yeah.
She a murderer, him a pervert.
Yeah.
A match made in heaven.
A match made in heaven. So that leads to the worst thing that I've ever seen in a movie.
Okay.
You don't agree?
It's up there.
The conversation with his own son?
There's one line I really like.
Yeah, I guess so, but
don't act like it's not a good line.
So at first, the dad of the other kid finds out who did it, or figures out who did it, and calls him at the house.
You're a dead man.
And he just says, you're a dead man, and then hangs up the phone.
Yep.
And somebody has spray painted serial rapist on their side of their house.
Yep.
And so he kind of realizes that, like, well, he's fucked now, and everyone knows. Everyone knows what happens.
Yep.
So the son comes up to him.
It's time for a heart-to-heart.
And asks him if he did it. And he says yes.
Yes.
And then he just goes into the most graphic detail about molesting his friend. And he's like, well, what was it like? And he tells him, like...
It was great.
It was great.
Would you do it again?
And then he's like, would you do it again?
Yes.
Yes. And then he goes... the kid starts crying. Yeah. And he goes, would you ever fuck me? And I audibly screamed.
His answer is flawless.
His answer is insane.
No. I'd jerk off instead.
God!
I wrote, wow, wow, wow.
Wow, wow,
wow, wow.
I audibly screamed at it. Like, out loud in, like, terror and laughter.
It's so good. Police come and arrest him.
Police come and arrest him. They go to, like, I guess, visit or live with the grandparents.
Yeah, fast forward 6 months, I think.
Yeah, they're in, like, Florida, I guess?
Yeah, they're Del Boca Vista Phase 2.
Yeah. And so they're, like, all inside having, like, brunch or lunch. Mm-hmm. And the son is out on the patio, on the balcony, staring down at the poolside area of a, like, very leather-skinned older woman.
But busty,
sunbathing.
Yeah.
And he is fully jerking off. And
just, like, in full view for anyone to see.
And
if anyone looked up,
and just a reminder, he's like 11 or 12.
Yeah.
And he finishes. They show him shooting rope
on the railing.
On the railing, and then he goes inside.
And that's the end of the movie.
Oh.
Unless
he goes inside.
The two best things in the world happen afterwards.
What are the two best things that happen in the world?
Well, I guess he comes in and makes the announcement that he made a cum. And I was like, good for you, buddy. But the family dog goes and licks the cum off the railing. And then the family dog comes into the dining room where everyone is and kisses the mom. And I'm like, yes, yes, yes. It all comes back. Back to an angel's kiss.
Yeah. That is a snowball.
The dog snowballed. The boys come into his own mother. I wish I hadn't said it out loud. Now that I say that, I don't love it.
Should we watch more movies by this director?
He did Welcome to the Dollhouse, which is another box art I remember always seeing and never renting, and not a ton of other big stuff. But after this, I do kind of want to watch Welcome to the Dollhouse.
Yeah, me too. I'm in.
I'm in. If it's anything like this, then yes, 1,000 times yes.
Absolutely. No.
I mean,
well, this one
shorter than last week.
Shorter.
Pretty good. We're getting very professional. I think by next week we'll have just nailed it.
Yeah, sure.
I think we can. You know what? I think we can do next week in one part. What do you think? What do you think, Andrew?
Sure.
You feel good about that?
Yeah, I feel good that we're gonna do the next one in one.
What do you think about this stance I'm taking? This posture?
I don't like it.
No?
I don't like it. I don't like you. Get out of my house. Get out of my house, Steve. Get out of my house.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you watch Happiness and feel as awful as we do.
Do yourself a favor and watch Happiness. You've got exactly 24 hours to send us $50 if you went in on the last one. And if you ever want me to watch The Great White Hype again, it is your last chance.
Your one and only opportunity.
And so paypal.me/NotScottHenson, NotScottHenson on Twitter, Sarian Softpaws on Twitter, Sarian Softpaws on Letterboxd. Anything else?
Nope.
What else is good? What else is going on with you? What do you want to talk about?
No. Goodbye.